and have an opening.
I was yelling at Tifa, Tifa, hurry up, get ready, we need to get in front of a camera, the stream is about to start, we have like 30 seconds. And then we were finishing the setup, and then we were already a few seconds later than I would like to be. And then she's like, are you ready? And I'm like, yes. So you open the stream. And then Tifa's like, I don't have an opening. Go on, give the people something.
Okay, I have started.
Happy Friday, everybody. We made it through the week once again.
Yes,
and
we
isn't
did.
it amazing that Psycho knows how to use our quote system, even if we don't? It is Friday. Every day is Friday.
The quote system.
If you feel like it. I'm going to ignore her because
It's the ad
I want to be
quoting that is broken, oddly.
it's not broken, you're broken.
I am.
Literally unwatchable. Yeah,
I know, right?
I would tune out too. So what did you want to say?
I don't remember. You interrupted me.
It's been over a year since we played Trauma Team, Tifa. We need to play another one of the
Oh.
Trauma Center games at some point.
A year already.
Yeah.
That is one of the games where I still remember the story so...
Vividly?
Yeah.
Same. That's why I keep pestering her. Hey, Tifa, do you want to play another one of the Trauma games? I even still have the Wii set up on the screen. You don't see that, it's out of frame for you. But
True.
the sensor bar is still there. The Wii is still over there plugged in so that we could do this. Like, I never unset up, hoping that one day we would be able to get more of a peak that was Trauma Team.
Well, if you unset it up, it also doesn't really have a place to go, so it might as well stay here now.
Why do you need to be so negative?
I'm not negative, but you're acting like this is extra effort. It's just catching dust.
Why are you calling me out like that? Why? Why can't I have anything?
That's funny.
And you could play Mario Galaxy, the best Mario game.
I don't think I've ever played Galaxy, have I?
Tifa, you lasted 34 seconds with Sonic Adventure? Actually, wait, Mario Galaxy could be playing longer before her motion sickness kicks in. Because the tutorial stage is normal. It's only in the first actual stage that the Galaxy part starts happening. How about this? This weekend, if you feel like your weekend is going too well, I'll set up Galaxy for you and you play 5 minutes of it. I think you will last... If Sonic Adventure was 34 seconds, I remember this distinctively because I timed it. Because there's a timer in the stages. I think Galaxy, 25 seconds tops.
That sounds like a perfect Jack Solo game for when I'm gone.
It doesn't, because the only Mario game I like less than Sunshine is Mario Galaxy.
That's exactly why you should play it.
I guess it's time for hot takes on a Friday. I will reiterate that Mario Galaxy, to me, is... Because Jack hates fun. No, Jack hates Mario Galaxy.
And fun.
And fun.
It equals fun, basically.
Funnily enough, I replayed a lot of Sunshine when the 3D All-Stars thing came out for the Switch, because I'm an idiot and I bought it. Now I have 2 copies of Sunshine, 2 copies of Galaxy, and I forgot how many copies of Super Mario 64. I like the idea of Sunshine, but there are certain things that just make me want to chuck the gamepad out of the window. Like the fact that Yoshis dissolve when they touch water. For absolutely no reason. Galaxy... I like Galaxy as a game, I hate the story.
Isn't every Mario story kind of the same?
No. Galaxy, the ending of Galaxy gives me an anxiety attack.
The ending?
Yes.
Okay.
That's it. I hate the story of Galaxy. And yes, I
Gotta look up the
understand
ending.
how it is to say I don't like a Mario platforming game because of the story, but I just don't. And I dislike it so much that I dislike the entire game for it. Like, playing Mario Galaxy, I've played through it back then on the Wii, and I liked it. The gameplay is fine.
Well,
I don't love it, but it's fine. The soundtrack is amazing.
Several Mario games we gotta play on stream. Or we wanted to play on stream.
Yeah, which you can't because you'll be like.
Well, no, we have the Mario RPG one. Sorry, Mario, the new RPG.
Super Mario RPG.
Oh, that's what it was. Super Mario RPG. I remember having
that argument when we played Wonder.
I remember having that before. We still had that one. We also got the Princess Peach game.
Yep.
Which we wanted to play on stream. We haven't touched that one yet.
Paper Mario just got a remake. The second Paper Mario did get one.
Even though I haven't really heard anyone about those games, so I'm wondering if they're any good or whether they just flopped.
Because they came out a while ago and people loved them.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, even when they came out, we bought them, but I didn't really hear anything about it.
Because you don't hang out around those parts of the internet.
Fair enough.
People enjoyed them. They're solid games.
Yeah, but when something is like, whoa, awesome, even though I'm not on that part of the internet, it will come into my part of the internet.
It's not Baldur's Gate 3 groundbreaking like that. But they're solid, well-made games.
Fair enough. Just be the only person on the planet with that reason.
Possibly.
I am really gonna Google the ending after this stream.
My grandma always told me I'm special. Now we finally know what she meant. Possibly.
I don't think we finally know.
Spoilers for Super Mario Galaxy. So you know Rosalina, right? Wait, first things first, you care about the story of Mario Galaxy?
No.
Okay.
From the sounds of it, I'm not gonna play it, so...
Okay, fair enough. So, you know Rosalina, right? The princess with a Luma, the star?
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy is the game that introduces her. And it turns out...
The star or the princess?
Both. Turns out that Rosalina is special and that somehow, I forgot the details, as a kid she moved to space.
How?
I don't remember the details, just accept what I'm telling you.
Okay.
So she goes to space, but because she's like this special space queen princess, she misses her parents and her home a little bit, even though she's playing with the stars, the Lumas, which is really cute. But she misses her family, so she builds like a telescope and then she watches them. And you get to read her diary, or like a storybook that tells you the story, kind of. So while she slowly ages, she watches her parents miss her and eventually die from old age.
That's surprisingly deep/sad for Mario games.
So that you unlock as you play Mario Galaxy. Already, that's like, I don't need that. I don't need fields in my Mario games. Not for jump and runs. If we're talking like Mario RPGs, I'm okay because, you know, stories. But my platformer Mario, I don't need that. So
you actually play as Rosalina as well?
No.
Oh.
No, you just get to meet her and she does stuff. She's a main character in the game for reasons, but that's not the point. So that sets the tone for me. That's the first thing I think of when I think of Mario Galaxy or play Mario Galaxy. Already, that makes me sad. You never have to set foot in that room. Yeah, but you do. I mean, you don't have to, but you do, because like there's a room in this overworld thing, and like why wouldn't you go in there, right? And then you read this thing and then you go, I don't need this. Anyway, so that's number one. Number two, Bowser's evil, right? Mm-hmm. So Bowser always wants to steal the power and then do the thing, right? Mm-hmm. In Wonder it was cool because he stole like those royal seeds and then he became a castle. That was fun. And in like Sunshine he steals the sun because reasons, and then he takes a bath with it. Like, he's evil. It doesn't need to make sense. He just steals things. In Galaxy, he wants to steal the power to change reality. And he does that. And at the end, you know the Marvel movies, right? The MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Mm. You know Thanos? How he does this thing and then half of the universe dies? Yeah, they stole that idea from Mario Galaxy because Bowser goes, I want everything to die. And then literally the universe just ends. A giant black hole happens, the entirety of existence gets sucked. You see Mario, you see the Lumas, you see Peach, you see Toad, you see everybody die. You see Mario fucking die. Everybody gets sucked into the black hole and everybody you ever cared about in any Mario game is fucking dead.
What if there's something awesome at the end of the game?
And then you see nothing. There is nothing. You just sit there and the screen is black.
I might actually play this game.
The screen is fucking black, you are fucking dead, and everybody you know is fucking dead. But because Rosalina is awesome, and Mario and power happens,
she undies them.
Somehow, I don't remember this, I don't know if the game explains it, it's just a long cutscene. Somehow, there's another Big Bang and a new universe is born. Oh, sorry, a new galaxy. And that's even the thing that Mario, is it the same one? Is it a new one? I don't know. You hear in Mario voice, welcome, a new galaxy. And then the levels are slightly different. And I sat there. I was like 16, 17 when I played the game. And
oh, it's that old?
Yeah. Okay. I'm sitting there, I'm playing the game, I'm like, yeah, fuck you Bowser, big bad boss fight, fuck you, I'm gonna get the power, I'm gonna win this game, smack. And then I get to watch the literal end of all existence. And the black screen lingers. In my memory, the black screen stays there for 2 hours. I think it's like 10, 15 seconds where it's just nothing. Maybe less. To me, felt like 2 hours. And then suddenly stuff happens and everything is different, but like it's just there again. And they never bring this up again.
Honestly, the way you describe it, it sounds really good. Do set it up.
I don't want to die. I don't want to be sucked into a black hole. I don't
want to see how this game goes, because this sounds absolutely mind-blowing for a Mario game.
I don't need to
suck up.
I don't need to witness the end of existence and another Big Bang.
I will suck up my motion sickness just to say hi to Poop Lord. How are you doing?
Hi. Sorry, ranting.
But set it up. Let's see how I deal with it.
I don't want to play Mario Galaxy.
Maybe now that I know the awesome story behind it, I'll get less motion sickness.
I don't want to play Mario Galaxy. I got nothing but panic attacks at the end.
Then why did you just sold the game to me?
You guys look like average oxygen sniffers today. Always.
I love a day goes some by. Oxygen.
Jack mentions Universal on the side. Tifa, I gotta play it. Yeah, we have very different energies. It shows.
Come on, the way he explained this game, it sounds awesome.
Nothing of value was lost. Oh my god. Oof. Love unhinged Jack that is explaining things to Tifa while she sits there like she's being scolded by her parents. Yeah, same energy, really. I don't want to play Mario Galaxy. Like, actually, I'll play it, but when the ending happens, I'll just leave.
I would like to check it out. Set it up. Actually, I can play it myself.
How about... You're gonna puke.
I will do my hardest not to.
Deal! I will discuss this with Tifa after the stream. First, you get to play test a little bit of it. And if it's just about the ending, you can just watch it on YouTube. Like...
we'll see.
Maybe I misremembered things. Anybody fact check me on this? Please do correct me. Please tell me if I missed something. Please make it better for me. You have the unique opportunity to save how I view Mario Galaxy. And I know that that's effectively nothing in the grand scheme of things. But if you can make Galaxy palpable for me, I would love you forever.
It was just a dream.
No, it actually wasn't.
It was.
No.
Why did I hear Mario Galaxy as Mario on acid? I think you need to sniff a bit more oxygen today, yes. Poop Lord.
Because that's what they did when they wrote the story for that ending. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if all the kids get to see this? Yeah, no.
It sounds epic. If I knew that, I would have checked it out before.
For me. Gamer Girl Puke, new product to be sold. I'd rather not.
I'm quite sure you can probably buy that somewhere on the internet, yeah.
Allegedly, the devs snuck it in past Miyamoto. Really? Miyamoto let anything pass him by? I have a hard time believing that.
They only showed the bit with Rosalina and playing with the stars.
Or maybe he knew, but he told them, yeah, just do whatever, you know? Because I think Miyamoto is in control of everything. Even if he tells you, no, it's fine, I just do whatever. No, I think he knows. I think Miyamoto's DNA is in everything he even just looks at, for better or for worse.
I've seen sites, Psycho. Only seen them, huh?
There are people who sell way more nasty stuff. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, I've heard of vending machines in Japan where you can
buy used underwear.
Buy used underwear, period-stained underwear, and shit-stained underwear in a vending machine. That's quite revolutionary, isn't it?
No. It's not revolutionary. It's catering to people with certain proclivities.
Yeah, but to just have it open and about, like, I'm guessing that's something that I would put in a random side street.
Stop it! Get some help!
Oh, suddenly there's limits.
Yeah, you started this, Poop Lord.
I was gonna say.
You literally started this conversation. I was trying to steer away from it, but Tifa went hard into it. If you want to blame somebody, it's you. I started nothing, so it's still on screen.
You started like puke bottles.
There. You did this. I'll just sit here like I'll just pretend all of this is the ending of Mario Galaxy and I'll be in the room, but I won't be part of it.
If you sell puke bottles, you can have such a wide range of what you sell though. Like you can charge based on what you eat the night before. No?
Tifa, I feel happy that you felt comfortable sharing your thoughts with us.
Plus $50 for the bits. Oh, but speaking of puke though, I will always remember that because it was so cute. And I know I've told the story several times on stream before already, but still, it remains so adorable. Last year, when we were walking...
I'm so glad I found this channel.
Last year, when we were walking in like fall...
Why are we still on puke? You
started the puke. There were like the super tiny mushrooms everywhere. And they were so adorable, and I don't know why, but I really
Tifa
love watching...
mushrooms growing out of like trees and stuff.
Yeah, I really love watching mushrooms. And once we were like walking past this little bit on the side street where a tree was cut off, and on the edges it looked like there were lots of mushrooms sprouting. So I like go on my knees and I tell Jack, oh, like look at these cute little orange mushrooms. And it looked so adorable until Jack came and he was like, that's puke.
Yeah. Tifa was deeply invested into a splatter of somebody's puke on a tree stump.
They looked like mushrooms.
Maybe the person had eaten mushrooms.
It even got a little bit furry. Anyway, yeah, it was really cute.
So, Puke Lord, how are you doing? Happy Friday. I will change your name from now on. I do recommend you doing the rebranding yourself, because you will not live this down.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, by the way, that you, aka Poop Lord, is stuck on the puke part.
Yes. Just saying.
I mean, we can kind of argue about what's worse, you know.
So how about now? Still Puke Lord.
The roller coaster doesn't stop until the end. Yeah, and our tracks are long.
And it's that roller coaster that somebody designed specifically to kill people?
No.
It does not end well.
It might not end well, but there is an end, even for me.
Okay, can we find the end like circa 5 minutes ago? I still need to have dinner. Well, I hope it's not puke flavored. Could be those jelly beans that we once had. They do make them with puke flavor, and it is surprisingly close to the real thing in my experience.
Nah, some of them were like sickeningly sweet. Like
sickeningly.
Yeah. But yeah, I also
Yes,
don't really
where are
have
you going with this?
nothing. I'm just saying that some of them were sweet. You don't really know that a lot from that.
This conversation is not helping. Once again, you started. Maybe, you know, a conversation is what you put into it. If you hadn't opened with that, we wouldn't be here right now. Think of that. That's your homework for tonight, Puke Lord.
Maybe you remember that I started the stream saying I have nothing to talk about today, basically.
Yes, thank you.
So if you like feed me a topic, like that's what we're going to talk about.
If you feed Tifa puke, this is what you get.
Okay.
So great that it's not me derailing this time. Yep. Start of my galaxy, but the rest is out of my hands.
No, I am 100% going to check out Galaxy this weekend, and I hope I will not puke.
Thank you, Psycho.
Because I really want this story.
I've never played Mario Galaxy 2. I have it, but I never touched it. I don't know why I even bought it after I hated the first one. Actually, no, I'm lying. I played a few minutes of the second one.
To support them.
Yeah, I guess.
Make the economy go brrr.
If you feed or feed, yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes. We need like a horny jail command.
Oh.
No, don't do it. I don't know how I will set that up.
I'm not doing it, I just thought we...
No. Why would we have that?
I was kind of expecting that to exist, really. I kind of don't remember what we all have in there.
It would need to be... Will it have a bong? I was thinking it will time somebody out for, let's say, 10 minutes. Like, actively putting somebody into horny jail. Also, welcome in Dark Lord. How are you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful time at work and your lunch. Sweeping right now.
We can add a bunk.
Please help us talk about something else. Galaxy 2 was a nice addition. Did it also have a story? Because I remember it being kind of like... here's a game, go play. Like, if Galaxy 1 had a lot of story, Galaxy 2, from the little bit I remember playing, had none. Except, we're in space, there's stages, go play some more. Don't remember, don't care. Fair enough. Fair enough. I get weirdly invested in stories of games sometimes, even when I shouldn't. Dark Lord, don't scroll up, this chat is cursed. No, watch the VOD instead later. Everybody in favor of banning Poop Lord?
No.
Contemplating, okay. So
Always happy to talk about everything.
Tifa, I will try. Hey Tifa, what happened the last time we played Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 5 Meakashi, also known as Higurashi When They Cry Kai?
That is actually a really good question, and before I go into that, I have been here since the Dark Ages. That is very true, because Poop Lord has been here for almost 4 years. Actually, over 4 years.
Yeah, 4.5.
4.5 years, even.
Yeah, but that don't mean nothing. Like, I don't care. Like, I appreciate it, but I don't care. Sometimes it feels like ages. Sometimes it feels short. Time is relative.
Yes, it is indeed. So the last time we played Higurashi, Shion is living her best Mion life, as a matter of fact. Mion's still locked up in our dungeon, being, I don't know, dungeon furniture. And Shion is happily taking her place in life and perfectly following up on it, going to school as Mion, questioning Keiichi on the Watanagashi night.
Okay, stop. Not quite. So, after Shion killed her grandmother, she took the place of Mion, and the next day, literally the next morning, she goes to school, acting as Mion. After taking some phone calls, acting as Mion, because, you know, she needs to keep up the charade. And that's when she meets Reina and Keiichi, who are like, hey, you don't look like you're doing too hot. Why are we both doing the same arm thing?
No, I'm scratching the front of my
I'm scratching under my elbow. So we go to school with them. We're not feeling too hot because we were kind of drunk last night, but also we killed our grandma, and like we don't feel bad, but it kind of catches up with us because we didn't get a lot of sleep and like exhausted.
Know the feeling?
And for some reason Keiichi also isn't doing too hot, so when Keiichi is excusing himself to get some water on his face to hopefully freshen up, waken up again, Shion also goes, yeah, I'm not doing too hot, I need to go home, sorry. Then she corners Keiichi, asks him, hey, what about Tomitake and Takano dying? That's weird, right? Like, where were you yesterday at the Watanagashi? And then he's like, but you asked me this already. Because Mion had asked him. We now learn, assuming that's also how things played out in chapter 2. Shion just goes, yeah, I figured I would just ask you again, because maybe your answer would be different. She's not that great at acting along. Turns out it doesn't work. Keiichi kind of freaks out, and then Shion leaves, goes home. Because one of the phone calls she received in the morning was like, yeah, we have an emergency assembly at 5. So she goes home, rests up a bit, goes to the assembly, and there she bumps into Mayor Kimiyoshi. He was like, hello, Shion. And Shion is like, yeah, hello, Mion. Grandma can't make it because she isn't feeling too hot after last night for some reason. So it's me, Mion. I will be taking her place. Also, I have no idea what to do. Can you maybe help out? Kimiyoshi does. So we go into the meeting. They introduce that Kimiyoshi will be talking. He does. He talks about how stuff happened. Great.
Tomitake and Takano have died.
At first he goes, great festival. We had over like 3,000 people, 5,000, something like that. We had a bunch of people show up. Great. The numbers are increasing. Also, these 2 idiots died because they had it coming. And then...
No, they did not know why. That's
True.
where Shion then explained.
Just that they died. Then Shmion takes over because that's kind of her job as Mion. So she just says stuff without saying anything. It's like, yes, the curse has struck again. And she's just trying to go along with this whole charade, but really what she's doing is she's gauging everybody's reactions, because one of these people potentially killed my boyfriend. And potentially somebody killed Takano and Tomitake. Who did it?
Well, the important thing is that she announced that they were killed because they angered Oyashiro-sama, which was announced because they have snuck into the ritual storehouse with 2 other people. Then everyone went like, "Oh, they deserve it! How dare they sneak in? Blah 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 blah," and all of that. Because that's what our job as the family is. You know, we apparently announce who gets killed by Oyashiro-sama's curse. And then we also announced that not only did they sneak in, there were 2 others with them, which is Shion
and Keiichi.
And
Shion is already gone.
Shion has already been demoned away by Oyashiro-sama, and Keiichi has not yet.
Yes, but soon, something like that. After that, everybody scatters, and Shmion asks Kimiyoshi to drop by later because Grandma wanted to talk to you in private. So that's how she lures him in. Then she has a talk with him, and she tries to get a reaction out of him, how he stands with all of these issues. And at first he's like very like stone-faced, very sober about this all, like yes, this is all horrible. I am sorry that these things have happened. I do feel bad for Shion. Mion, don't worry. Surely Shion will be forgiven. She's in the cells, right? Yes, she is. It will all work out just fine. Don't worry. Until Shmion makes the mistake of asking him things. And he goes, yeah, I mean, with the others, you know, like this Hojo shit people, they deserved it because Hojos. And that completely sets off Shion, who turns into her demon self again and tases the fuck out of Kimiyoshi.
Yep.
And that's where we left it, because cliffhanger.
Yes, we did. We also had a little bit of a talk about why she ripped out her fingernails and whether it didn't mean that Satoko was forgiven. And he explained that the 3 fingernails were not for...
Oh yeah, true.
For our uncle Kasai and Satoshi, they were for our uncle Kasai and us.
Yes.
Satoshi was never to be forgiven from the start. So I guess we got confirmation for that.
He didn't say that as a matter of fact. He said that, but that's not how I understood it. I thought it was like what Tifa just said. So then that just further riles up Shion and she goes full. You what? Huh? Basically, Shion talks herself into a rage over. So what did Satoshi actually do? It's like, wow, he's a Hojo. No, what did he do? What was his crime? Because he was born into this family, but what did he actually do to deserve to be killed? Well, he's a Hojo. And when she just loses it, like all of these stupid old people, they believe in this stuff. Like nobody thinks about this. Everybody just goes, yeah, they're evil, so they're all evil. Like, fuck this.
I wonder what she would have done if he didn't go this way. Because all she wanted to hear from him basically was that he cared about her. Because he was like his grandpa, father figure while growing up. So she was very disappointed during the meeting that he was all meh. Which turned out to be not the case. And I wonder if she would have let him live.
Possibly.
And if so, how was she gonna go about Grandma not showing up?
Potentially.
Because she was just getting dressed and then coming. So either way, she would have had no choice but to tase him because...
Well, she could have... with this being with Sonozaki, she could have talked her way out of it. Like, hey, I just checked on her. She thought she had the energy to get up and have a talk with you, but she doesn't. We'll reschedule. Sorry. She sends her regards. Something like this.
Yeah, I guess.
Especially with the whole like, oh, she's not doing too well right now. Could have made to work, but oh well.
But yeah, he didn't. He got tased, and that's where we saved.
Yeah, so now we will probably witness the murder of another old person, because Shion has a type when it comes to her victims so far. It's old people.
But yeah, we did not read the fine print before ripping out our nails.
Yeah, I mean, we did, but Shion didn't.
And Poop Lord?
Thank you for the redeem. Not gonna happen. You're not getting sound effects. Sorry.
Basically that, yeah.
Sorry, not sorry. It's my decision. After recap, I expect a knock-knock joke from both of you. Keep expecting, also not gonna happen. Hot Grandma. To each their own. I personally did not find Oreo Sonozaki to be attractive. Neither physically nor as a person. But
that is very fair.
To each their own, right? No king shaming. Tifa. Are you ready for some Higurashi now that I found the safe file?
I am ready.
Alright, let's do this. Why is Keiichi suddenly talking?
Well, we did not save in between a conversation, so I think we just had a swap to Keiichi, because we definitely saved it after we tasted.
Yeah, the very last thing that happened is Kimiyoshi getting tased, so...
I think we now just have to...
Oh! She did the killing off screen, I guess.
Well, I'm sure the moment we swap back to Shion, he'll be in the cell.
Also, one sec, why is there no game sound? There is, I had muted it. Sorry. That makes sense.
Oh, now I hear it.
Yeah, and I had our volume low. A call and away for like 2 minutes, what happened? Nothing.
Well, you missed all of the knock-knock jokes. Which we're not going to repeat, obviously.
Yes. Also, you're not getting your redeem because no sound effects. Sorry, Shion. What was that you just said?
Are we back at school? No.
I don't think so.
Or did we call Keiichi?
I have no idea. Wow, scam. It's called quality control and you failed it. Sorry.
No, wait. Thinking of the previous
Press
chapters.
A.
No, not yet. Thinking of the previous chapters, Shion was going to call Keiichi to talk about what has happened and warn him. That's what we were going to do. This is probably a phone call.
Potentially.
Phone call.
There's one way to find out.
Apparently, Takano-san and Tomitake-san died last night. Takano-san was found burned to death. Tomitake-san was... well, it looked like a suicide. I found out this morning. I heard my father talking to a relative on the phone about it. As I thought, Keiichi didn't know anything about what happened after the festival last night. Of course, it's not getting reported by the media. That's how it was in the past, too. Keiichi insisted that unless he heard about it on the news, it couldn't be real. But the investigations into the series of mysterious deaths are done in secret now. Of course he didn't hear about it on the news. I hear the mayor and several important politicians from the Sonozaki family put all the pressure they could on the police.
Then you mean their deaths are going to be dealt with in total secrecy?
That's how it is. Of course the police are still investigating. That's being performed in secret too, though, so I hear the investigation itself is very restricted in what it can and can't do. You could essentially say they're interfering with a police investigation.
I can't believe this. People died and yet we're dealing with everything in secret.
If we break it down further, it means that no matter who dies on the night of Watanagashi, it won't go public.
That's the biggest pile of bullshit I've ever heard.
Kei-chan, remember how I said before that the villagers could be the ones carrying out Oyashiro-sama's curse? That's what I mean. At some point a tradition was created here in Hinamizawa, where every year you're allowed to kill someone on the night of Watanagashi.
The Purge, but smaller.
Yes. That's the truth about the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa, also known as Oyashiro-sama's curse. On the day of Watanagashi, 2 people will be killed. The perpetrators are using the curse of Oyashiro-sama as an excuse to kill one victim and make another one disappear. That's why the curse of Oyashiro-sama takes place. That's what happens in Hinamizawa, and that's what happens with the curse. What Kimiyoshi said is all true. Infecting everyone with the idea that the enemy from the dam conflict deserved to die was the root of all of this? That was the system of vague commands used in the Sonozaki family created by its head, Oreo. One thing that must be mentioned about that command system is that the person giving the orders and the one executing them didn't need to interact in any way. Though Oreo was the commander, she never gave actual orders.
Yeah, she only states a wish or an opinion of hers.
Demand a refund. I put blood, tears and sweat into those 10 coins.
Shouldn't have wasted them. But you do get a refund after every stream anyway, so...
Yeah, don't worry. You will get them
It's going
back.
to happen.
She only had to expect something to happen. Every single one of the family council members around her would want to satisfy that expectation if given the chance. They didn't have to be proactive about satisfying it. They could be passive too. But when the chance arose, anyone who knew Oreo's intentions could potentially become the one to execute her orders. Therefore, Oreo would never know who actually executed her order, and none of the relatives knew it either.
It's a wonderful system called plausible deniability.
But they all knew things would conclude just as Oreo wanted, and they could assume it was one of their own who did it for her.
Do you think this ever creates a scenario where Oreo states a thing like, I think the 2 people that broke into the shrine should be punished. And then like 6 people in attendance think like, oh, it's gotta be me this time. And then there's a scenario where like 4 people try to kidnap the same person to do bad things to them.
I have a feeling the others speak among each other.
But
If
then they
that
don't
is how it
have
works.
plausible deniability for each other.
But we don't know if they do.
But
We only know how it works top to bottom. We don't know what happens around the bottom.
If Tifa hadn't kept yapping, I would have done the pointing Spider-Man meme thing. Yes, you know, you're that little kid from the grandson from the construction minister guy dude back in chapter 4. Like, the kid is coming out of a school, like, oh, I'm gonna go back home now. And suddenly, like, 4 people jump out of 4 white unmarked vans, and like they all jump at the kid, realizing, it's like, wait, you're here too? No, you. I was here first. My turn with a brain cell. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, but that's not efficient.
Correct. That's the problem with this system.
Yeah, but you don't know exactly how the system works. The only thing you know is that Oreo says a wish, and then everyone there will grant it. You don't know if everyone there will still have a meeting to discuss which family will do it and how. Which would be more efficient.
Maybe part of why I find flaws and dislike these systems is because I don't like the idea to begin with. Maybe it's just my disdain for mafia-like organizations. Oh well.
That's quite handy. The passive support system was thoroughly effective, and it spread all over the village. Its ties became even tighter after the dam conflict. Anyone could be the one to execute Oreo's orders. Therefore, everyone supported each other. If someone did something, then the others would try to satisfy Oreo's expectation in different ways. For example, they'd come up with false evidence or otherwise passively interfere with an investigation. Even if they didn't know exactly who they were protecting, they'd still work together to protect whoever it was. Yes. I had finally figured out how it all worked. Phrased in a more organized manner, it would go as follows. The system of killing 2 people who are unwanted by the village each year required 3 elements.
Okay, here we go.
The first element was a region of solidarity. It was created during the long and unique history of Hinamizawa. The villagers' bonds became even tighter during the dam conflict. That was one of the conditions for this place to have a curse. It was an element that was already in the region, not one that could be created. The next element was having the same moral standards. This was a very important element, as the curse wouldn't have happened without it. Also, this element was created by Oreo Sonozaki herself, and that was why she could claim that this system was established by her own will. But isn't this something that was actually, no, it's been 5 years, never mind. I was gonna say, hasn't this been going on for way longer already? But it's
allegedly.
It's relatively new, the way it's currently done.
We don't know that. It could just be like a repeat of something that has happened previously.
That yes, but the current mysterious deaths I want to say only started like 5 years ago and not like 10 years ago.
Okay, but then next question, if this is why all of this is happening, what happened 5 years ago now that started all of this?
The dam conflict.
So it's just a matter of we always had this power, we just didn't end up using it, and we only started using it when this bad thing happened to the village, and now we're kind of drunk with power, so now we just do it because we can.
Well, there was probably no reason before, as there wasn't an internal evil that had to be extinguished. And now with the dam conflict, people have started showing their real faces. So old tradition is brought back as a means to get rid of them.
I guess. Potentially.
Like, it kind of makes sense. Because now you can throw it on the wrath of a god. And obviously these people were evil because they stood against all of these things in the city. It was just a matter of time before they were next.
Yeah, fair enough, I guess.
And now that he's been awakened and mad, it will keep going. Until he's satisfied again that we are the perfect village. Blah, blah, blah. But you can absolutely sell that.
True, yeah, fair. You can always pull the card of like, well, nobody dared to anger Oyashiro-sama this year.
For example.
Just
But
saying.
you only do that after you have gotten rid of all of your enemies.
Yeah.
And his thirst has been quenched.
I can just see it. Oreo having like a day out, going to like a cafe or something, and when she orders a cappuccino, but they bring her a latte macchiato, and then like she's so unhappy about it. Like you wouldn't want to anger Oyashiro-sama now, would you? Like in the end, everybody is dead simply because they did something that wasn't perfect to her. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, am I right?
Sure. That's when it starts getting to your head.
Yeah, but what's so fun in that? Like skipping a free Happy Meal. My question is...
Where do you find a free Happy Meal?
My question is...
Oh.
No,
It
McDonald's.
seemed like the more...
Sorry,
a free one.
Sorry, this is... McDonald's is a thing that exists. Whack-Donald's, the legally different burger chain.
The sad meal.
Yeah. Imagine. Then again, if you ask me, every meal at McDonald's is a sad meal. It's not great food. Maybe you crave it sometimes. I know I do because I grew up with it. I grew up with McDonald's being a treat. So every time I walk past the McDonald's and I smell like the burgers, the fries, my lizard brain goes, food, I want it, it's tasty.
Their chicken nuggets are tasty. And their ice cream.
But every single time in the last few years where I have had McDonald's is like, yeah, no, I can get better food for cheaper usually. Luckily I have alternatives right in walking distance. Same. But like, it's better than starving, but if you love McDonald's, you love McDonald's. I'm just saying, nutritionally, it's not great for you. At least not in abundance. Not the point, though.
Your question was?
My question was, with Oreo now out of the picture, at least for chapter 2, why does Rika still die?
Well, Rika is found in the well in chapter 2.
Rika predicted her own death in chapter 4, meaning she has to die in every story.
Well,
Why?
true, but the question
Why?
is, why does she die in this one?
Yes.
And I think she might be on to the Mion Shion thing. And that could be enough of a reason to kill her off.
Oh, she says something stupid. Not stupid because Rika is stupid, but she says something that triggers Shion's anger.
Or that. Don't forget, Shion was not friends with these kids. Only Mion was. So there's also no reason to not kill them off. She has no connection.
Plus Rika had some sort of relationship with Oreo, with the whole like crawling under her like blanket and stuff and just walking around drawing pictures. Yeah, okay. Alright.
I mean, at some point they're going to realize there's something wrong with how Shion is acting.
Or not. We will find out at some point.
Having the same moral standards means that everyone everywhere acknowledges the same enemy. Even when everyone in the village joined together, it would be meaningless if they all didn't know exactly who the enemy was. During the dam conflict, Oreo Sonozaki made the identity of the enemy very clear to everyone.
It's them.
They couldn't just say that they were against dam construction and that the government was their enemy. That wasn't clear enough. The government didn't really pinpoint who the enemy was.
It's the man. You gotta stick it to the man. Government is trying to keep us down, guys.
But Oreo made enemies out of the construction site itself and therefore its manager. She chose targets that the villagers could see with their own eyes. But that makes a really big difference, though.
Yes, it does.
Like, you can either hate the world, which you can't really feasibly do anything about, or you can hate this person that you can actually hurt, injure, see, communicate with.
I feel like, in a sense, that's also how racism works. In a lot of cases. Like, if you're unhappy with your socio-economic situation, it's easier or more plastic in a way to go, I hate the person who just moved to this country trying to have a better life, therefore possibly taking opportunities away from me, versus I hate the people that created this scenario and that profit from it. Doesn't work that way, but yeah.
Well,
it helps if you can go, this guy is to blame.
Yeah, but bad example, because here we hate all.
Where's here?
In your example, we hate the government, and we hate the people coming in, and the people allowing them to come in.
Not necessarily if you have a racist government. You know?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, but obviously they were not the ones who caused this.
Who is they? You cannot keep using pronouns in a situation like this. Who are you talking about?
The racist part of the government.
You completely lost me.
I
think getting back will take too long. How about we carry on? It
doesn't matter. They were clear and easy to understand, unlike Jack's example.
That's what I was trying to say.
The villagers acknowledged that everyone at the dam construction site was their enemy, and that construction site manager was the enemy commander. Using the same method, she labeled one after another as an enemy of the village, practically cataloging a list of enemies to print into the villagers' minds. Earlier, I'd used the term infecting for this phenomenon.
So real quick, because it's 2025. So a catalog is a bunch of paper, usually with pictures and like item numbers on there. And back in the day, you would get these sent to your home by physical mail, and then you would flip through the catalog, and then you could call somebody with a phone and you could tell them, I'm Jack and I live in this place and I would like to order this item from your catalog. Things like this.
That's still... even Gen Z would know what that is.
Are catalogs still a thing?
Not the printed versions you mean, but a catalog is also still a thing on websites. For web shops.
Is it?
Yeah.
Don't they just have menus and galleries and shops?
Catalogs. And
Really?
you can just buy it immediately.
It's been ages since I've last seen a catalog. Like, I cannot remember the last time I have seen a catalog. Hence why I just went into this little sidebar.
Some things just disappear. Quick interruption story. When was it? Friday. No, Monday.
The other day.
Monday. I wanted to post a letter from Jack's work that had to be shipped back. And I was like, okay, Jack forgot in the weekend, I'll just take it along. And I went to like this little store where you can like hand in your packages and stuff like that. And like, hey, can I ship this letter? I already have the stamps on it. Can I hand it in? They're like, no, you have to put this into a
mailbox. A briefkasten,
mailbox.
as we call it. Also, I'm taking this away from you because the way you sit makes my shoulders hurt.
And I'm like, a mailbox, okay. We had
Where?
one at the end of our street, but that was like years ago before it was returned. I'm like, it can't be that hard to still find a mailbox.
Taken away. Good luck finding a mailbox in Germany.
So I took like a half an hour detour to walk to the station to go zigzag through all of the side streets in the living area, because surely somewhere there must be a mailbox. I could
in the
not.
living area.
Yeah, in the...
It sounds like our living room is more like a domain kind of thing.
No, you have like neighborhoods where
in
most
our
people
neighborhood.
live in the neighborhood.
The living area versus the dead area, a cemetery.
I'm just saying, I took a detour going through all the streets, trying to find a mailbox. Mm-hmm. And even around the station, I looked around, there is no mailbox anymore.
Yeah.
And you know, it's one of those things you never really need. I mean, the last time I actually posted a letter in a mailbox was maybe 15 years ago.
I don't recall the last time I had to do that.
So I understand that they are gone.
Yes.
But now that I needed one, I never realized that they are gone. There is
a
barely
lot of mailboxes.
A mailbox left.
Yes. You could probably Google where they are.
Probably could. In the end, I just went to work and then I figured, hey,
we get mail.
We get mail at work. So I'm like, hey, we also get a daily pickup of mail, right? And she's like, yeah, we do. Can you hand this to the mail person? Please. There is no mailbox anywhere. And she's like, yeah, just give it to me. We'll put it on the pile. I'm like, oh, thank you.
I can literally go to a post office, give him a letter and tell him, please put a mark on it, a stamp. Not a stamp. Yeah, post stamp. No.
Yeah, post
What's Briefmarke in
A
English?
stamp. You were right.
Is it
I'm quite sure it's a stamp.
postage? Postage. Generic term. Postage. Yeah.
Postage stamp.
I don't even know where the next post office would be.
Well, the thing is, this letter already had stamps on it.
Yeah.
And they don't accept the stamps from that company, apparently. So it had to go into a mailbox because there's also nothing in the area that would accept those stamps. I thought stamps were a universal sort of thing, or like a countrywide thing.
Somehow managed to go to a store that does like parcels for one of her private companies, not for the German post. It was very sweet of her to try to ship my letter for me, because I had forgotten. Eventually, she got it done. Thank you very much again.
You're welcome. But yeah, mailboxes are no longer a thing, is what I'm saying.
I still got catalogs even when I told them via mail that I don't want them. You order one time. I feel like shipping you catalogs is even worse. My example would be when you order something you rarely need on like Amazon, like a toilet seat. And then for the next 6 months you will receive emails and Amazon will recommend to you, pick up where you last left off. Do you need more toilet seats? No, I do not.
But that's because the cookies are only allowed to track up to a certain number, so they do a certain page, so they don't know that you actually bought the item. They just know that you put it into your shopping basket.
Yes, but hear me out.
I'm just explaining the logic behind it.
So the Amazon cookies don't know the Amazon order history?
The cookies that are used for ads as well, yeah. You're not allowed to mix that data.
No, I'm not talking about ads. I'm telling you, Amazon literally told me, you already bought one, why don't you buy 50 more?
Oh, like that. Fair enough.
I would imagine a good programmer, or not a good programmer, they only do what they're told to do. A good manager would be like, hey, there are certain items you only really need like one every couple of years of, like a toilet seat generally. So maybe we don't spam you with ads, but
it's a lot of effort too.
Catalogs!
Oh yeah, that's how it started.
Yes.
Earlier, I had used the term infecting for this phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
Yeah, I said it right the first time.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You said...
The first time I said that line. Now you made me repeat it and now I messed it up.
You never said that because I was talking about catalogs. I already forgot.
Yep, but I said this line first and then you started about the catalogs. And now just for you, I repeated the line and that's where I messed up.
Okay, but can you repeat it properly?
We already have the proper line.
Please.
The second line was a coulance for you.
Oh, goodwill. I want to hear phenomenon again.
Phenomenon.
It lives in the sea. It's one of those plant-like creatures.
Those infected by this idea were the people unconsciously giving the orders to commit murder. When the infection spread across the village, when all of Hinamizawa's residents acknowledged the same enemy, that's when Hinamizawa itself became a murderer. Oreo combined those two elements, a solidary region and having the same moral standards. Then selected the enemy and spread that notion throughout the village. The law would normally have punished both the one who committed the crime and the one who gave the order. But Oreo's system didn't require an order at all. Oreo just had to become concerned about the enemy she had pre-selected. But that alone wouldn't cause the curse to take place. Oreo's concern was like a safety device. And even when the safety device was off, the curse wouldn't occur unless there was a finger to pull the trigger.
Who is the trigger man?
The last necessary element was to set a date for execution. The night of Watanagashi. The night to venerate Oyashiro-sama, the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. Did I even say that right?
Not really, but...
There wasn't even a twitch.
Yeah, because, listen, you have a point when you say there is no point in me arguing with you every 12 seconds about the pronunciation of every word.
I know, and I'm very happy you stick to it.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I mispronounce a word, I can see the twitching from the
Yeah.
from my side eye.
I'm trying to work against my nature here, people. I'm a nitpicker. I am the person who goes, it's a phenomenon, not a phenomenon.
And on this word, I was
It's
actually
Hinamizawa,
doubting.
not Hinamizawa. I want to do that so bad, but...
And on this word, I was actually doubting, but I also didn't see the twitch from...
No, venerate you said properly, but when you said Hinamizawa.
Oh,
That's
well,
what
I was stuck on the venerate, so... look at me.
Invigorate. That's a callback.
Now I'm on lunch. Enjoy your well-deserved break.
Turns out
Dark
reception isn't gonna be floor. Welcome back. I hope you enjoy your lunch. And I found a 15 kopeck coin from the USSR. What do they make you sweep? That you find coins from like 6,000 years ago. Damn.
That is an interesting find, though.
Yes. I mean, you probably can't use it anymore, but maybe with a collector or something. Or you just keep it because, hey, who can say that we have a 15 kopeck coin? I don't even know what a kopeck... I mean, I understand it's currency, but I don't even know what they look like.
That's a nice thing to just keep in your wallet.
Yeah. Or not, depending on how you feel about these things, but yes.
Or not.
That's cool. Enjoy your lunch. Turns out the Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore.
It's been a couple years, yeah.
There's like one person who's trying to make it a thing again, and I pray he's failing, but, you know.
On that night, the curse of Oyashiro-sama falls upon 2 enemies of the village and they disappear. Everyone in the village acknowledged that as a fact. In other words, if the same incident took place on any of the other 364 nights of the year, it would be nothing other than a murder case. But if it happened on the night of Watanagashi, then it would transform into the curse of Oyashiro-sama. The idea that villagers are allowed to kill their enemies on the night of Watanagashi had infected them. What if you just die of natural causes?
I want you to get the hiccups out of the way first, because I can still hear it coming. Also, what's a Watanagashi? Sorry.
I said Watanagashi. Also, now you're going, just because I addressed it doesn't mean you're allowed to go back to your old habits. Now I asked myself, which means it's okay. If no ask, you no talk.
It's like telling a tiger it can only eat grass. It's like,
yeah, that's why you're a vegetarian, so eat it.
but I have fangs. Where were we? Sorry, you asked a question. I think.
What if you just die of natural causes on Watanagashi, or you have an accident and die?
Then that's just a coincidence. But then again, with a village of like, what was it? 1,200 people? I don't think it... I mean, it can happen that somebody dies on the night of Watanagashi, but... I don't know. Unrelated.
Yeah, but what
Counter question. Chapter 3. At the very beginning of the chapter, they found the body of a woman.
True, in the sewer?
In the sewage. What was up with that?
That was mentioned in the previous chapter.
No, it wasn't.
I believe.
No.
I am quite sure that was brought up.
No. No.
I am pretty certain we had that somewhere. We discussed that somewhere in the chapter again, not just at the beginning.
Mm-mm. There is no coincidence, only hit Susan. Why would I hit Susan? I don't even know her. Wow, Dark Lord is suggesting domestic violence.
It's okay on the night of the Watanagashi.
True, right? It's Watanagashi. What is Hitsuzen? I don't know how to pronounce it properly.
The villagers were the cells of this huge creature called Hinamizawa, and each cell would be taught who the enemy was. The set date was basically a green light for whoever was in the best position to kill the enemy. That was the truth of the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Therefore, the one who actually killed Satoshi-kun isn't my enemy. The one who set up this murderous system and the one who named Satoshi-kun's family as the enemy is my enemy. To use a broader definition, Hinamizawa itself and the very system of Oyashiro-sama's curse is my enemy. I already killed the hack, the one who designed the system. Kimiyoshi, the one whose job it was to infect the villagers with the system, was already in my hands. I just had to find out who else was involved and how much.
Spoilers, everybody. I have a strong feeling it's everybody.
Well, that's why the gas leak happens. She might be some trigger for that.
You're joking, but I wouldn't even be shocked.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That could actually be a thing. You know, she's out on her own crusade about why these things happen to the person she loved, and she comes to the realization, no, it's not just 2, 3, 4 people. They are all to blame. They are all bad. They all deserve to be punished. So she, I don't know, takes some fireworks or something, shoots them into...
It's kind of hard to start a natural disaster, though.
Was it?
Well, I think we're gonna find out, but I wasn't 100% joking when I said it.
Where was Shmion, one of the two, or both, or just one, during chapter 3? We don't know.
I don't remember. During chapter 3.
Mm-hmm.
Shion wasn't that big of a part in 3, I think, was she?
Correct. That's why I'm asking.
I do not know.
I know they were deceased when the scroll thing happened with all the people that died and the people that went missing during the incident. But where were they? Because I think Tifa might have a point. For once.
We're not gonna find that out yet. But we're now having this whole thought thing, conversation in our head for the past half an hour, probably. And Keiichi's still on the line, like, waiting.
No, thinking is a free action.
He's just like, hello.
Also, again, Tifa probably doesn't understand this, but it's okay if you're hot. Even if he was just sitting there, like, he has a thing for Shion. So it's like, take your time, babe.
Hello? No? Okay.
Just saying, gentlemen would wait.
Sure thing. It was like pulling a weed while being very careful not to break its roots. I announced that Keiichi Maebara was one of the people who snuck into the shrine storage. I was certain that fact had already spread throughout the underside of the village. In other words, Keiichi Maebara was an object of the curse of Oyashiro-sama now. Takano-san and Tomitake-san were found dead, having been killed in gruesome ways. That was the curse of Oyashiro-sama. In that case, they could demon away 2 more people as sacrifices to calm the anger of Oyashiro-sama. The set date for the curse was already over. But just like what happened to Satoshi-kun, demoning away was allowed a little extra time.
This was like Mario Kart. You know, if you don't get first, you don't get to murder somebody, but hey, you can still make someone disappear, right? Which is, depending on how exactly they get demoned away, it might still be the same thing, just that you don't get to leave traces.
I mean, so far with disappearing, it has been hinted that you'll also get killed.
Why do I think... You know, some people have talents that under normal circumstances never get to shine, or they never get to play to their strengths. You know what I'm trying to say?
No. Yeah.
And this is why I'm being a dick to you when you mispronounce words. What if there is a few freaks of nature in Hinamizawa who are insanely talented at doing horrible things to people? They're really creative with ways to torture, to kill, to disappear people. And it's not even a question of like who is like, why are all of these people so depraved for violence? Why are they going along with it? It's really just these like 2 freaks that are like, yeah, I like to hurt kittens. And just that one night a year, they get to play. They get to let loose. Like,
it's a dream, isn't it?
The basement door opens, and then that creature gets to come out and just pick whoever. Like, we'll always say it's the curse. Just do the thing. Like 364 days of a year, they're miserable because the only thing that gives them joy is watching the light fade from somebody's eyes. But that one night, they get to be who they are without needing to fake it. Damn, I wasted my talent. That phase when they release the creature. But you know what I mean? Like think of Shenmue, Asian Golem. Like I don't think that guy sits around at home like sipping an espresso like, yes, I'm currently getting ready for my day job where I trade stocks. No,
I bet he has a very normal life.
He has a very rich internal life. He has a little bonsai garden thing, couple of cats.
It's always the people you don't expect it from.
Yeah, but
that's also what you hear with like the serial killer. It's like, oh, you were such a nice, normal neighbor.
Like Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, it was completely normal except it smelled of rotten people. You know? People kept disappearing after they went to visit him. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Basically.
No.
Something would happen to Keiichi Maebara within a few days. I'd wait patiently, careful to not let my enemy simply take Keiichi Maebara, my bait. Keiichi had been yelling on the other end of the phone for some time. See, I told you he's been waiting on the other line. This was not a free action.
This is one of a few moments in a game where they acknowledge the other person waiting in real time and having a vivid reaction to you, just going,
And then Keiichi was also just ranting and raving.
Yeah.
Without even really waiting for acknowledgement.
Isn't this where he's having like a full-on panic attack about, oh no, we have the next targets, oh, what's happening? Isn't that the talk?
Was that him that panicked?
Yes.
Or was it? Okay, then probably is, yeah.
He goes home to his wife and kids, pays his bills, watches a workout video.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's some Pilates at home, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is that moment.
See?
Yeah.
We're just spacing out while he's having a crisis.
Yeah. This is where he is trying to what's the word I'm looking for? To explain away why he shouldn't be punished because it wasn't his intention to break any rules. He didn't mean to break the taboo. He got strung along, and the curse should cut him some slack because he just followed somebody. Mm-hmm.
He kept yelling that he didn't want to go into the ritual storehouse to begin with. He claimed that he was simply invited by Takano-san and me. He shouldn't be in danger because of that, he said. He was feeling a sense of crisis and tension. This was going to work.
I actually love the fact that Tifa is laughing while reading some of these lines because I think that completely underlines how I think Shion would feel about this.
Probably,
if this was voiced. Yeah.
The livelier the bait, the easier it is to spot.
Why the hell did you do that? I didn't have anything to do with this. What will you do? What are you going to do, damn it? How are you going to take responsibility for this? Huh? Hey, are you listening?
Shut up. I've heard enough of your pitiful tears. I hung up the phone.
And I was thinking back in chapter 2, it's like, oh my god, she hung up. What is happening? And in reality, it's like, oh, fucking hell. Someone get me a Tylenol for my head. She's just leaving him twisting in the wind. Yeah. Beautiful. I mean, not really, but as entertainment, beautiful to watch.
There was no point in talking to him when he got like that.
You're becoming a bit hysterical. I will talk to you later. Goodbye.
Besides, I'd already achieved my goal, which was to make him realize the danger awaiting him. I took a deep breath, then called the house of the village chief.
Hello? Kimiyoshi residence.
This is Sonosaki. So? Did you find the mayor?
Oh, it's you, Mion-chan. We've been calling everyone, but no luck. We can't find him. I don't know who else to call. I wonder where he is.
We've called a few places too, but Nothing. I talked to Granny and she says we should have the youth group look for him.
At this time of day? Besides, we aren't even sure he's really missing.
It's right after Watanagashi. She just thinks we should be cautious. If the youth group can't find him, then we should call the police first thing in the morning. We'd rather not get the police involved unless we really have to, though.
Did Oreo-san say that?
Yes. If you don't believe me, I'll have her get on the phone.
Oh no. I understand. Okay, we'll gather the youth group and look for him. If they can't find him, we'll call the police in the morning.
Please call the leader of the youth group then. I'll be right over in Granny's place.
Thank you. I'll get everyone together right away.
Okay. See you later. The youth group had gathered at the Furude shrine. They were going to try to find the mayor. I also had to go in the absence of the hack. Just to be mean, I stopped by the underground torture room to let the mayor know that I was headed to the Furude shrine to search for him. Incidentally, according to the tab on the keychain, this underground torture room was actually called the Underground Storehouse for Ritual Implements. This was the man who was yelling that whoever trespasses on the ritual storehouse should be killed. Although it was an underground ritual storehouse, he was there now, atoning for what he had done. It was pretty ironic. Maybe I was the only one who felt that way, though.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? Meakashi is almost funnier with how much Keiichi is almost entirely ancillary to the problem. If you think about it like that, yeah. Didn't feel like it back then, funnily enough.
Yeah, but now you know the other side.
Yeah, definitely. It's like rain on your wedding day.
Is that an actual song?
It's for good advice that you just didn't take.
Oh, I do know that song.
Yeah, Alanis Morissette. One of the few songs I know of hers.
I don't know the lyrics, so...
Yeah, it's actually... Like, I remember the song being played up and down back when it came out. It made the charts here in Germany. And, like... I want to say back then, at least, the average person listening to, like, the pop songs that were in English, they just vibed with them. They listened to them for how it sounded, not understanding the lyrics necessarily. And then me, the first time listening to Ironic by Alanis Morissette, thank you, listening to the lyrics, it's a sad song if you think about it.
I think even in songs where I understand the meaning, you often just vibe along until you actually start listening to
la
it.
La 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 long, la 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 long, long.
For example.
Sing it. Yep, that one for example. It's a song about somebody wanting to have sex really badly. Thanks for putting that earworm into my ear again.
I actually need to listen to it again because I only know that little bit of the beat and I can't remember the rest. But it's one of those songs that the moment you hear it, you can sing it along entirely.
Yeah, it's a good song.
That is true. How are you doing, Uncle Kimiyoshi? Kimiyoshi didn't say a word, but he made a noise with the chain. Everyone is making such a fuss because they can't find you. Your family called me. Oh, called me. I was gonna say cancelled.
Your family cancelled me.
Your
What?
family cancelled me.
I had to delete my TikTok because of you.
Your family called me, so I suggested they gather the youth group to look for you. I'm heading over there now. Was this mean or what? Kimiyoshi could only make noise with the chain. He couldn't even express any emotion other than anguish.
It's one of those multi-plug thingies.
I think that's a more annoying sound than you realize.
It's the chains. Yes, being chained in a torture dungeon is an annoying sound. You're welcome.
Is the chain too short? Why don't I make it longer every time you give me an answer to a question? If it's even a little longer, you'll feel better.
Oh.
Kimiyoshi's hands were tied behind his back with a tight wire.
Like this or like this? Because both suck, but in different ways.
He was wearing a leather collar with a chain, which was strapped tightly around his neck too. The collar's chain was on a pulley attached to the ceiling, with the chain pulling him towards it. That chain was very short and pulled very tight. Kimiyoshi had to stand on tiptoes to be able to breathe. He had been like that for almost an hour already. He was already exhausted. If I left him overnight, he'd probably end up hanging himself.
Yeah.
You told me earlier that you didn't know, but I'll ask you one more time. Please tell me anything you know about Satoshi Hojo-kun.
That wasn't a question. Just saying, like grammatically, this doesn't work.
Oh, sorry. You can't even talk, can you? I'll loosen the chain a little while we chat then. I turned the pulley just a little to loosen the chain that was pulling on Kimiyoshi's neck. Kimiyoshi's heels finally touched the ground, relieving the pressure on his muscles.
I really don't know, Shion-chan. I really don't.
Don't you even know if he's dead or alive?
I really don't know anything.
Well, I guess that's how the curse system of Hinamizawa works. It's possible you really don't know anything. Okay then, I'll change the question. As the head of the Kimiyoshi family, I would like you to tell me what you think has happened to Satoshi-kun.
Also not a question either. She ain't asking. Yeah, literally she ain't asking either.
Yeah, so what are you complaining about?
The grammatical incorrectness of her statements. Now she's asking a question, finally.
Is Satoshi-kun dead? Or alive? Kimiyoshi didn't know what to say. If he said he didn't know, I'd tighten the chain and leave the room. That would be like a death sentence for him. But all I said was that I wanted him to speak as the head of the Kimiyoshi family. I didn't ask him to tell the truth. But he didn't know what to say to avoid souring my mood and to get me to loosen the chains around him. He was obviously trying to figure out how to make me extend the chain.
I've heard a rumor, but he may be alive.
About him going to Tokyo on a bullet train, right?
The police have seen him in Tokyo or something like that.
Ooishi had told me that Satoshi-kun had been witnessed getting on a bullet train heading to Tokyo at Nagoya Station. But the police didn't know if that really happened or what became of Satoshi-kun after that. Therefore, this was simply a random assertion of Kimiyoshi's. Hey, head of the Kimiyoshi family? What would be the point in letting one of the cursed family members live? After going through the trouble of making him disappear. I don't think there's any reason for that. Besides, who gave you this information? I was in close contact with Ooishi for a while, but he never mentioned it to me. Uncle? If you're just saying that to make me happy, it's not going to work. You know that, don't you? I reached for the pulley controlling the chains around Kimiyoshi, and that act alone sent him panicking as he feared them tightening once more.
Sorry! I'm not trying to make you angry, Shion-chan, I'm sorry.
I don't have time for this. I'm simply asking you to help me look for Satoshi-kun. That's all.
I know that. I'll answer you.
I took my hand off the pulley. Seeing that, Kimiyoshi began making loud groaning noises to try and show he was thinking hard. Be frank with me. Do you think he is alive? Or dead?
I think... you shouldn't think he's alive.
That figures. There was no point in letting him live, right? I agree with you. I really didn't mean anything too deep by it, but what I said truly scared Kimiyoshi.
Frank Kimiyoshi. Yeah, his parents were like, one was Japanese, one was American.
Frank?
Yes, so they named him Frank. Tifa is completely lost.
I don't get it.
Be frank with me.
Oh.
He looks like a Frank, to be honest. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Can imagine it.
I could see him as my neighbor Frank. Like,
Hey, the kids are playing quite loudly the other day, aren't they?
yeah, Frank. Need to go to work. Bye. Damn kids, what?
The police thinks he ran, using the money he saved to buy Satoko's birthday present, because he was the main suspect of his aunt's murder. What do you think about that?
Well, I heard that the culprit was some kind of drug addict.
What do you think about that? Maybe I shouldn't say this, but I believe Satoshi-kun is the culprit. The drug addict was probably a decoy Grandma arranged.
I've suspected as much. That guy appeared out of nowhere. I didn't understand it at the time.
So he was a decoy.
I'm pretty sure.
Why do you think that, though?
The police were investigating the case and Satoshi-kun was the primary suspect, wasn't he? If he was going to be demoned away, she didn't want the police to continue the investigation, I guess.
What Kimiyoshi just said is very interesting. He's perfectly correct. If the police continued their investigation, it would complicate things for whoever demoned away Satoshi-kun. Therefore, the hack came up with a decoy in order to bring an end to the investigation.
Makes sense. Welcome in, Yaya. Happy Friday. We Higu, we Ra, we Shin. Indeed we are. How are you doing?
Yes, we do. How are you doing?
I was thinking you could make an American Higurashi, but that's pretty close to Stranger Things at this point. I was thinking American Horror Story.
Or a mix of both.
I feel like American Horror Story would be closer to me because softest spoilers for both properties.
Story-wise, it works better.
With some of the stories in American Horror Stories, I want to say they are more psychological horror versus, no spoilers, where the source of a horror comes from in Stranger Things.
Yeah, that is fair.
But it could work either way.
But anything can really work with American Horror Story.
Maybe this is an American Horror Story.
We're the German Horror Story.
Oh lord.
But fabricating a suspect can't be that easy, don't you agree?
The only person who can do something like that is Oreo-san.
I knew Grandma was very powerful in the underside of Hinamizawa, but I never knew she was that powerful.
I'm sure you've heard quite a few rumors during the dam conflict. Didn't you also hear things directly?
During the dam protests, I actually saw them issuing orders to my relatives. Like, destroy their heavy machinery. Or can we set up a checkpoint to blockade their construction vehicles? They set free their comrades from the police by coming up with alibis, destroying or forging evidence. I had seen relatives do those things, as well as the hack calling in counselors to the house to protest. As a child, I was pretty impressed. And that is impressive. But when I thought back, it was more than that. She was truly the mastermind who controlled the underside of the world.
You've heard about the kidnapping case of... the grandson of a minister of construction, right?
That was a very long pause there.
So it was really a kidnapping, huh? I heard the grandson was demoned away and then found in the middle of the mountains in Takatsudo or Yaguchi.
Yagouchi.
Yagouchi, also good.
Yogushi. Yoshi.
Yaguchi
Yoshi Mario.
Sounded correct.
Yoshi Island. I don't know. Somewhere. I don't care.
That was at Oreo-san's command. The minister promised to stop the dam construction and the grandson was released. All the top people in the ex-Guardians know that.
I guess I was right in the middle of it when it was happening, but I didn't notice. The Hag, the three families, and the ex-Guardians are truly magnificent, huh? How terrifying. Kiyoshi finally realized the situation he was in, and he was answering my questions. That made me happy, but the more Kiyoshi told me the truth, the more I realized Satoshi-kun really was dead. Made me very sad. Who actually demoned away Satoshi-kun?
I don't know. We were never to ask who actually executed Oryo-san's orders.
He was right. That was how the system worked. And so, that was a bad question. Whoever it was did a great job, because his body hasn't been found. That's not easy.
Putting aside who actually killed him, it is possible Oryo-san has helped to get rid of a body. You know about the well farther down from here, the one used to dump bodies, don't you?
Yeah, I do. It's a lot safer to dump a body in the well than to bury it somewhere in the mountains. Whoever disappears becomes a sacrifice to calm the anger of Oyashiro-sama. That was the rule of this game. Therefore, the bodies must never be discovered. That's why the bodies had to be dumped somewhere nobody could find them. It's very possible that the well was used for that.
I was gonna say, I think the only way we'll ever find out where it disappeared to is if somebody climbs down that well.
Well, you gotta climb down the wall into the well. Hey, I'm helping you here.
How?
By assisting you, so that what you say was correct.
Now you know what it feels like.
Feels what?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Then Satoshi-kun is at the bottom of that well? I grabbed the flashlight and headed to the huge cave with all the cells. Oh, now we even said last time, like, why doesn't she just go down to check?
Why would she want to? It's disgusting. It's not gonna be nice down there.
No, but still, wouldn't you be curious?
No, I would not be.
I would go down.
No.
As I turned on the lights in the cave, Mian noticed me and gave me a worried look. I ignored her and headed to the cell on the back. I was still very impressed by how the well was hidden. It was almost artistic.
You could almost say it was well hidden. Sorry, I had to. But now that everybody can quickly recover from my amazing pun, how about we take a short break here before we delve deeper into the abyss?
In that case, BRB.
BRB.
We're back.
Now it certainly is cold in here.
I should not have left this room. It is so cold outside of it. All of the heat is here.
It keeps moving somehow. Like, this room is closed. I in the winter, because it is cold outside again now in Germany. Spring is over already. I keep this door closed so that our body heat warms up the room, and it feels like there's a cold draft coming through here, which can't really be the case. But well, indeed.
Can't say that again.
Well. And now?
No, that was it. Now you said it again.
Okay.
You ready? I'm not.
No, I'm not either. Welcome to a drinking stream. It's tea.
I shone the flash.
I promise I did nothing to her during the break. This is not on me.
Nah, I'm ready. It's the internet. They have corrupted me.
It was just to warm up.
I shone the flashlight at the bottom of the well. I had no way of knowing how deep the well was. The light of the flashlight wasn't strong enough to reach the bottom. I inhaled. Then screamed into the well. Satoshi-kun! Satoshi-kun! Satoshi-kun's name echoed again and again.
Satoshi-kun! Satoshi-kun! Kun!
It was obviously a very deep well.
Cool.
I thought of climbing down using the wedges on the wall. Also, do you think that
Ladder?
the ladder is actually there? Because they kind of make it seem like it's not.
No, because it's been displayed.
Oh no, wait, it is there.
Described that there is something that has like the shape of that, but it's not a ladder.
No, there has to be a ladder because there's a pathway in the middle of the well that leads out of the mountains.
Again,
I forgot about that.
It's not exactly a ladder from what I remember from the last time this brought up. It's more like there's something to like climb up and down, but it's not a ladder, not like in the picture.
No, fair enough. The moment I asked it, I remembered the path. Was that in game or?
Why am I getting sound effects suddenly? 1 second. I know what that was. Dip, 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 dip. 1 second.
I couldn't place the sound.
There was a notification from a program I installed that I had forgotten I didn't mute. Sorry. Ready?
But with the flashlight hanging from my neck, I couldn't light my footing. Okay.
Yeah, again, please.
But with the flashlight hanging from my neck, I couldn't light my footing properly. And even if there was enough lighting, I didn't even know if the wedges were sturdy enough. It would be like committing suicide. Satoshi-kun was at the bottom of this well. That's when I felt it. A warm hand rubbed my head for sure. Shion? Oh. This is
100% still her voice because she's talking to herself.
Fair enough. You finally found me. Satoshi-kun. Satoshi-kun. Satoshi-kun! I've been looking for you for so long. I'm sorry I couldn't find you while you were still alive. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's not your fault, Shion. There was nothing you could have done before I was killed. But you did everything you could do after I was dead. Satoshi-kun, I want to join you. I'm coming right now. I'm going to jump, so please catch me. Satoshi-kun smiled bitterly. I was saddened to see him reject me. Shion, I'm happy that you found me. But you are alive, Shion. It's so important to be alive. You can't waste it.
How do you avenge me if you're dead?
If you aren't here, If you aren't here, I don't want to live. I want to be with you, Satoshi-kun. I want to be close to you. I want you to rub my head again. I want to spend time with you. I'll be a good girl. I just want to be with you. Live. Do I have to? Live and enjoy your life, okay? What's so fun about living alone? You'll find out so long as you're alive. Just live. I will live. I will live. The eerie well now felt warm. I wasn't allowed to go down to the bottom. But the edge of this well was the place where you and I could meet.
In a way,
It's gonna be a sad date night.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Tifa. Imagine her bringing pizza down there, just sitting on the edge, dangling her feet into the well. Like, yeah, Satoshi-kun, I found this new pizza place in Okinomiya. I bought a salami pizza. It's really tasty.
Have you tried this Aldi pizza? It's great.
Oh my god, Tifa.
feet in the corpse slash. You guys are taking it way too far.
I said sitting at the top, dangling her feet. You went with a date night idea. Come on.
She just said we could meet at the side of this well.
In a way, I find it so I guess romantic, so heartwarming when somebody can feel the presence of a loved one. But Shion needs professional help. Like, if it was just this, if every now and then she could just feel like Satoshi was there, cheering her on, giving her additional reasons to live for. That's kind of sweet. But I feel like that is gonna like completely spiral that demon part of her. You know? Because that's...
We already know it does.
That's the kindling for the fire. Like that... Grief can seriously fuck you up. Yeah, grief can break a person. Grief can kill. It's... Which is why it's so great if you get born into a family where everybody is Yakuza and killing is just, yeah, I don't like this person. You know, they gave me a cappuccino when I asked for latte macchiato. Something should be done about this. Sure thing, Grandma. It's almost like humans aren't made to live in a place where you can just kill people willy-nilly, you know?
I thought you were gonna say like near a well.
You really think the evil here, the source of all the bad things, is the fact that there's a well?
Oh, yeah.
Is this why you think like all of humanity goes like through phases where shit just goes horribly wrong? Because wells and drawing water from deep in the earth has been a thing like everywhere since forever. So it's like ingrained in our DNA.
Yes, that must be it. That's where the saying, after the calf drowns, you put the well, comes from.
I what the well?
I think the English word is put. Close, basically.
No, Tiva, the English word for close is to close.
Oh, wait, maybe...
No, I feel like I'm being slapped by a paralyzed monkey right now.
Okay, the pot is not on my side.
Nobody is on your side when you say things like this. No. Poor cow.
Well, Mion, Satoshi-kun, I found him. He's at the bottom of the well, isn't he? I think so, yeah. I can't think of anywhere else he'd be. Mion started to sob. You weren't there when Satoshi-kun was killed, were you? No. If you were there, would you have begged Grandma to forgive him? Yes. I would have begged her to let him live. Liar. You liar! On that day a year ago, I had just recalled how cruel Mion was then when she forced me to rip out my own nails, acting in her role as the successor. Even if she was there when Satoshi-kun was killed, she wouldn't have stopped being the successor. Satoshi-kun was brought to the torture room. When he saw Mion, I'm sure he thought she would save him. Even as he heard the family head read out his death sentence, I'm sure he looked at Mion and believed that she would save him. He believed Mion was acting that way only because she was with her relatives. He believed she would help him. But she didn't do anything. He was strapped to a restraining device, yet she still wouldn't do anything. Mion was cruel. Mion? Isn't it about time to help me? I see. I get it. You're with the rest of the family members, so you can't show even a hint of compassion. That sucks.
Also, I love you, but the fact that you don't know how to pronounce hurts me. No,
The sound would be closer to an
yes, but you didn't do that twice now. Yes, I'm getting nitpicky for just a second because this is near and dear to my heart. Wait. I need to use chat for this. Please pronounce those 4.
Yeah, but don't forget, she was also laughing just before that. That changes the sound. You don't go,
Tifa, I'm so happy that I got to put my own stamp on the short-lived role of Satoshi-kun. I hope to get to play him again at some point. But there's a difference between and
not when she's laughing.
She wasn't laughing.
Go to the voice acting. Turn it on. Go turn it on.
No, it's about this was her being or emulating the situation through Satoshi's eyes. Hence the which is Satoshi's mumble.
Wait, let me see. How did you say it back then again? Oh yeah, I hear your feedback, but I reject it.
Fair. Fair. I don't like it, but fair.
Help him! Help him! Why? Why didn't you help him? You saw him looking at you, begging to help him, didn't you? Why didn't you help him? Even when he was going through a rough time because of his awful aunt, you didn't help him. You pretended to sympathize, but you didn't help him. You ignored him. He was cornered because you didn't help him. I tried to support him. Even when you didn't protect him from killing his aunt, I did. I sacrificed myself to fight for him. 3 nails were nothing.
That's not how that played out in the moment.
But it wasn't enough to rescue Satoshi-kun. I couldn't help him. Do you know why? Because I was Shion then. As Shion, I was kept away from Hinamizawa and nobody told me anything. I couldn't know anything. But you were different. You were Mion. You were right in the middle of everything and you knew everything and everyone told you everything. If I were you, I could have helped Satoshi-kun. I would have. But you were Mion. Give it back, Mion. That name isn't just yours. It's mine too. Besides, it was mine to begin with, remember?
Here we go. They traded places.
Swapped.
I told you. I told the world.
I just let you be Mion, remember? It was mine. Give it back to me. Give my name back.
I told you. She is the demon.
It makes sense because she has the demon in her. But that confirms the swap. Even though I wonder why. Do you think they swapped places just before the tattoo?
No, they talked about this. Or she talked about this. When they were kids, they made a deal. Mion would be the one of both of them that gets to enjoy the happy, and Shion would be the one that gets to experience the bad things. And they are both Shion and Mion.
Yeah, but at one point they had to pick who would be the main Shion because of the tattoo.
Yes.
But then I wondered, that was kind of done in secret, where one was sent to a zoo and the other one...
No, to a theme park, I think.
For a theme park.
They had a day out. Yes. And that makes beautiful sense, because it isn't meant literally. They're both the same, right?
Yeah.
So I would imagine them being really smart kids, they also knew the day of a tattoo was coming, right?
Well,
I'll just
no,
assume
because that came earlier, they said, because their family found out they kept swapping places.
Yes, exactly. But yes, thank you for proving my point. I'm saying they knew this was going to happen. They overheard it.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if they knew the day it would happen. But maybe we learn if we...
I wouldn't be shocked.
I can't stand that you even look like Mion. If I were Mion then... I kicked the bars. I kicked them again and again. Mion curled up fearfully in the back of the cell, as if she were trying to prevent the bars from crashing down onto her.
Oh, end of scene. I was like, okay, and then? Nothing, and then.
We're just gonna walk away like this. Also, are Mion and the mayor are not in the same...
Finish the sentence.
And are not in the same dungeon, right?
Yes. But not in the same cell, I would think.
Are they like in cells next to one another or not?
We don't know that, but I can tell you, if I was torturing a group of people, I would put them in cells where they can see each other. For the psychological effect. Because if you can see that I'm torturing this other person, that also does something to you. Notebook page 188.
After that, I joined the youth group in the search for Kimiyoshi. I went down the town council.
Again, with the cows. First there was a cowl, now it's a council.
I went down the town council's phone directory and called to see if he had visited. Then had the group split according to the circular notice divisions and sent them to search the town. Everybody seemed to be assuming they wouldn't find him. But since I knew they definitely never would, it was just bothersome to me.
I could be doing my nails right now.
Even after midnight, they were all still enthusiastically looking for him. I bore the sleepiness while yawning. When I heard somebody whisper.
No.
Then I heard somebody whisper.
There's a difference.
Now you're getting annoying again, like rein it in.
I'm gonna rein you in. I think it's time to replace Tifa with AI voice actors.
AI can't cry as well as I do.
That's true.
Last year, we did the same thing when Satoshi Hojo-kun went missing. The youth group was looking for someone who would never be found, just like last year. I was yawning because I knew this. Last year, there must also have been some people who were yawning and grinning on the inside.
When did we stop searching last year? Do you remember?
When Satoshi Hojo was missing? Oh, that was that. Oh, what time was that again?
I guess that was around midnight.
It was already 2 in the morning. Although they spent this much time searching for Kimiyoshi, they didn't do the same when Satoshi-kun went missing. After all, some people knew they wouldn't find him. They must have been sleepy. They must have said they should have just left it to the police. Shit, I want to kill the people who said that.
I'm telling you, she's gonna murder everybody.
Question, how many streams did it take to finish this chapter?
I don't know how many streams it took because we haven't done it yet.
How many streams did we spend on the previous one?
I don't know. Chapter 4 was by far the shortest in the entire game. What do you actually want to know?
I meant the episode. Oh no, never mind.
I think you're saying something that you don't mean.
Yeah, you can skip it.
Okay, you heard the lady.
What? Michan, you didn't get much sleep either, did you? Did you?
You have no idea how much I miss right now.
Yeah. I went to bed at like 3. I'm a little tired. Joke's on you, I'm always tired.
Welcome in, Skinner. Congrats on being first, second, and third, spiting yourself. How are you
Everything
doing?
he said.
Free? Hey, now, you can't keep staying up late. You probably read the first volume of a manga, thought it was interesting, then read the entire series, didn't you? I understand, I've done that before.
What? Oh, wait, isn't it about the mayor? He still hasn't been found. Nope.
3 is early. Oh, Skinner. Oh, Skinner.
It is when you don't need to get up at 6.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Furude shrine to join the youth group in their search for the mayor. Since I knew there was no way he would be found, it was really boring for me. Well, just enduring sleepiness wasn't that bad. Not if you considered what Kimiyoshi had to go through since last night. He had been hanging from the ceiling and couldn't even fall asleep or sit down, since he had to stay on tiptoes the whole time.
Shouldn't he be dead by now?
If we really left him on tiptoes, he should have.
At some point, he's gonna pass out from exhaustion when he's gonna strangle himself.
Yeah.
No, sorry. He's not gonna strangle himself, he's gonna be strangled by the thing around his neck. You know, there's a difference, because it's being done to him.
But I'm quite sure we left him that he could still stay on his heels. Fuck getting up at 6, unless it's to go to the gym. Who goes to the gym at 6? That's even worse. That's worse than getting up for work.
Why are you doing that to yourself?
The teacher explained to us that the mayor had gone missing and asked us if we knew anything. A couple of people said some things, but they were irrelevant. To me, this issue meant nothing, but it was all my classmates were talking about. I observed Keiichi Maebara. I had no idea if any type of danger was drawing closer to him. Maybe I'd call him again tonight, pretending to be Shion.
Pretending to be Shion. Get it? She is Mion now.
Well, yeah. I told him some outrageous stuff last night, so he panicked. But I was sure he'd calm down after a day. At that time, I heard a little girl's laughter.
And that made me so angry. How can little girls just laugh?
It was Rika Furude, the last survivor of the Furude family and their current head. However, she wasn't really treated as one. During the family council, she'd often draw pictures or take a nap in the heck's bed. She wasn't even invited to last night's meeting. I mean, she's like, what, 7 here?
Yeah, she's like 8. Like,
what do you want her to do there?
I'm not doing it anymore now, but I'd get up early and go to the gym before work because it's quieter and there's less dickheads.
It definitely is quieter, yeah, but is it worth it?
No, I need my sleep.
No. It was hard to believe such a little girl was responsible for part of the curse system. However, even though she wasn't in a respected position as the head of the Furude family, there were plenty of old people who worshipped her as the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. I'd heard from someone that Rika Furude was rather odd and seemed to behave as if she knew she was the reincarnation. Maybe Takano-san had told me that at the library when she was alive.
Or maybe you remember that because you've played the previous chapters. I hate when a game messes like that with you, you know? It's like, maybe she told me that.
Maybe not. When Rika Furude became worried about something, the elderly people who worshipped her would make arrangements. It was very similar to the Sonozaki family, and it was also the same system as used for the curse. I wonder, does Rika Furude know anything about the deaths of Takano-san and Tomitake-san? What does she think of people sneaking into the ritual storehouse? Does she know who snuck in and what had happened to those people? Well, she knows more than the rest of us now.
She just needs to go into her summoning godhood mode and then she can predict anything, I guess. Potentially.
As the one managing the storehouse, it was possible that she noticed the intruders first. In fact, she was the only one who could have noticed it. She must have passed on that information, which is why the curse was executed. That foolish Keiichi turned the light on when we went into the ritual storehouse. That light switch could have been connected to some kind of an alarm. Rika Furude, the leader of the Furude family. Maybe getting to know her would be a good idea. Now we get, hey, there's chicken in the sky.
Always has been.
Now we get to know her. Then she says something wrong, and that's how she ends in the well.
Oh! Is this the scene about the dog? I think it is.
The dog was with Keiichi.
Yes. There was a scene, and I think it was in chapter 2, which this seems to be leading into, where Keiichi was like, free families and stuff. Maybe, maybe if I just apologize well enough for what I've done, I will be forgiven. And I need to tell somebody. So he goes to talk to Rika, and that is like during the break or something, and he finds her behind the sheds. And when he finds her, she is on the ground, like dusting herself off, and she's crying. And then they have this really stupid, like, code talk kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh yeah, the angry dog knows. It's something like that. And like, what was it?
Oh, this could be before.
The cat is just a cat. The cat should just keep mowing. Something like that.
Yeah, it was a bit odd. Could be that this was just before that.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to this conversation.
As the leader of the Furude family, how much do you know about the incident? I asked her rather directly. It was hard to tell if she understood I was asking her in place of the Sonozaki family head, instead of as Mian Sonozaki. Are you talking about Tomitake and Takano? Rika answered. The news hadn't been made public, yet she knew about it.
Nippon.
Although she looked immature, perhaps she truly was the head of the Furude family. That's the curse of Oyashiro-sama. I already know that. But it's not over yet, is it? There should still be 2 more. Have you heard about what will happen to them? I tried to be vague to see how Rika Furude would react. I had been thinking that she had nothing to do with the underside of Hinamizawa since she was always treated like a child. However, Rika had just said things about the incident which normal people shouldn't know anything about. That proved she belonged to the underside's network. I don't think that matters anymore. She answered the question about Tomitake-san and Takano-san fairly quickly, but took a little longer to answer this time. Did she have to think about it? Shit, the look on her face never changes. It's impossible to figure out what she's thinking. What do you mean? How can they get away with what they've done? I think if they feel bad about what they've done, that should be fine.
That's so sweet.
The response was unexpected, especially after seeing all the old people get so furious last night. The trespass in the ritual storehouse was blasphemy against oyashiro-sama. The village elders had said those intruders deserved to die. Yet the leader of the Furude family, who protected the sacred storehouse for ritual implements, said that if they felt remorse for it, then it was fine. I recalled how people thought of Rika Furude's father during the dam conflict. But if Rika, as the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama, says it's fine, shouldn't the entire village then go like, okay, then it's fine?
See, that's the beauty with cult-like behavior. It don't make sense.
Because technically, what she says is law in this case.
Yeah, but maybe she wasn't channeling properly.
Like, Oyashiro-sama obviously isn't angry.
Yeah, but what if her antennas weren't tuned in and she didn't receive word from Oyashiro-sama right now?
I wonder if she would say that to anyone else, though. That if they apologize, it's fine.
She did say that to basically every single person that ever asked her.
She only said that to us, no? I'm talking more about, like, the council.
Oh, but I mean, she did say the same thing to Keiichi. You know?
Direct friends might be different. Like, what do they have to say?
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out.
Yes. Her father was called an opportunist back then.
A what?
Opportunist.
So not an opportunist.
Oh. I did say opportunist.
The second time you did, yeah.
Oh. Also?
Let me have one.
You had plenty!
Do you know how hard it is to give that part of me up? I want to, but you need to ease me into it.
Don't make me sacrifice you.
I don't think it works like that because I'm a vegetarian. It's effectively like sacrificing an egg.
Then it's even better, no? Then it's not illegal.
Why does your mind go there?
Because that's what the conversation is about. Like, oh, police, why did you do this? Just an egg. Okay.
He said he's a vegetarian, so it shouldn't count as murder.
Okay, off you go.
Uh-huh.
He didn't agree with the Onigafuchi guardians who had resisted violently during the conflict. Like father, like daughter. I aggressively grabbed Rika Furude by the collar.
When there is no way to escalate the situation, just get physical with the kids.
Huh? What the heck are you talking about? You're pretty stupid, just like your predecessor. You're pretty stupid, just like your predecessor, aren't you? The Furude family must understand better than anybody how sacred the ritual storehouse is. How could the head of that family say such a thing? I laughed at myself. I was told the same thing by someone else and was now saying it to Rika. Don't you know how serious a crime trespassing in the ritual storehouse is? It's a very important place for Oyashiro-sama, so nobody can go in without permission. See, you know that. But those 4 people brought their filth in there. What bad kitty cats. Meow. That's right, bad cats. 2 cats have been caught and punished. There are 2 more. Meow. How do you think they should be punished? Tell me your opinion as the head of the Furude family. Rika really didn't usually wear any expression whatsoever, making it impossible to tell what she was thinking. But while I grabbed her by the collar and stared at her, I could tell somehow. Rika was a little disturbed. I sensed she was trying to see what I was thinking in turn. I want to forgive those 2 kitty cats. Why should they get away with what they've done? Me? What are you trying to say? That's a good question, so let me explain. Those 2 must offer compensation for what they've done. They have to clear away their sins. Otherwise, Oyashiro-sama won't stop being angry. Every crime must be punished appropriately. Do you understand? Oyashiro-sama doesn't get angry even if someone enters the storehouse. What are you saying? The reason why nobody is allowed to see the ritual storehouse is because there are too many scary tools in there. I'm sure people would get scared if they saw them. That's why we don't let people in there. I'm sure those intruders were scared too. And I'm sure they feel bad about what they've done. They're forgiven once they feel bad about what they've done. That's not for you to decide. That's what Oyashiro-sama decides.
Bro, she is Oyashiro-sama.
I'm the shrine maiden of Oyashiro-sama, don't you know? Of course I do. You aren't telling me that Oyashiro-sama told you he isn't angry, are you? Rika nodded yes without hesitation. I can't believe the lie she's coming up with. I'm not surprised. I'm shocked. Huh? That's why your parents died of the curse 2 years ago. Oyashiro-sama was angry because they didn't deserve to serve him. That's why he cursed your father. Uh-oh.
I'm not complaining about your reading. I want to preface this. Can you read the first word again? The very first one in the text. Okay.
If you don't know what comes after, you don't know how to say it. Like, don't even.
I said I'm not complaining about how you're reading it.
But you are.
No, I'm not. No, okay, fine. The reason...
You are.
The reason I said this is because for the last, I don't know how long, you don't say, huh, you go, huh? Where did the...
Because she's annoyed.
Fair enough.
Anything more to complain about? That I can reject after? Like, now is your time to let it out.
None whatsoever. Now I can't even do the anymore. There it is. Hey, I found it again.
Oyashiro-sama would never do that. My father didn't die because of the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Ugh. Am I really talking to the last shrine maiden of the Furude family? Obviously, Oyashiro-sama can't be at peace. You are supposed to worship Oyashiro-sama. How pathetic. I don't know why you're so angry, me. I realized. She was in a position to know as much as the other two family heads. As proof, she talked about this year's incident as though it was nothing.
Eggy waggies! Yeah! Happy Friday! Welcome in, mommy. How are you doing?
Mommies. How are you doing? I need to wash my hair.
Yeah. What?
Callie mommies. Oh, what?
Everybody, call your mommies is what Tifa is saying. I need to wash my hands after typing that monstrosity. But why? Oh, it's a little cutesy wootsy music. Oh.
How you doing? No, not you.
Wow. Everybody adorable. But not me. That's fine.
Yet she could feign ignorance with a serious face. She sure is something. She's even better than me. I slapped her a few times and pushed her to the floor. Rika, having tumbled downward, looked up at me with tears in her eyes. This all happened because you wanted to change the storehouse's lock to something that was easier for you, right? That's true. The old one was too heavy, so I talked to Kimiyoshi and he changed it to a cheaper, lighter one. If you left the heavy lock on, maybe that would have prevented them from trespassing. This is your fault too. Don't you forget that. Of course, the Kimiyoshi family who actually changed the lock is responsible for this too. That last part was something I added on a whim. I added it to connect Rika's story to the disappearance of Kimiyoshi. I wanted to pressure her psychologically by doing so. The head of the Kimiyoshi family had to pay for his crime. That's why he disappeared. The head of the Furude family has to pay for her crime too, you know. Rika was still on the floor, tears pouring down her cheeks. Keiichi Maebara is the last one left. I suppose the Furude family will take care of him. I don't know anything. You don't need to know anything, do you? You just have to look worried. That's all it takes. That's how it is at our house too. Anyway, good luck. I don't... Rika hung her head.
How are the cool folks doing?
Well, I'm good.
Tifa,
Other
how are
than
you?
that...
I was gonna be sweet. I was leading into the nice version of the same joke.
Other than that, I don't know how Jack is doing.
Nah, too late.
That's what I was actually going to say.
No,
I really was. I actually was.
You can tell your grandma that nobody believes that.
But I really was. But I knew you would react like that.
I'm doing great.
It's Friday. Doing well.
Dang, Jack, I also want to go with that. See? We're all one big brain cell together. Tifa is very appreciative of me not nitpicking every single thing.
He lasted until the break.
And somehow, I still need to improve.
I stick to every time there's a break, something happens to Jack in the past week.
It's the curse of oyashiro-sama, I guess. How are you doing, Mommy?
He seemed to want to say something, But she was afraid that I might be rough with her again.
Would you still be playing as BS, Shion? There was plenty of BS already. See what I did there? Doing good, happy to hear it.
The Shion chapters, I gotta say though, are some of the best ones.
What Shion chapters? It's only been one so far.
All of the episodes.
Oh.
The ones
wait,
with
no, they're also
Shion.
called chapters. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. My mistake. Tifa, if you want me to be more the way you want me to be, you gotta give me some more rope here.
You have already pulled all the rope away.
Yes, so you need to give me some more.
It's at the bottom of the well.
Where you would go for a date night.
With pizza. Don't forget the pizza.
Tifa wants to have pizza over a bottomless pit filled with dead people.
Shion wants
You
to.
came up with the idea of date night.
Shion!
You came up with date night.
What else would you call it?
Not that. Oh no, my boyfriend cares about his sister. Proceeds to eat with child. Yeah, basically. Shion is somewhat unpredictable, but there's one thing you can always bank on. If there's children, she's gonna punch them. She's always gonna find a reason.
Only
It's
the little
crazy.
ones, yeah. I doubted Rika Furude was actually at the top of the curse system like the hack was. However, as one of the 3 family heads, she was a lot closer to the underside of Hinamizawa than I was. By now, that underside was well aware of Keiichi Maebara. I told the elderly leaders of the village yesterday in the meeting that Keiichi Maebara was the last one remaining. I just told the head of the Furude family the same thing. If threateningly. Maybe threateningly. If my threat was effective, the curse of Oyashiro-sama would very soon fall upon Keiichi Maebara. Also, why do we need to say the full name every time? Why can't it just be Keiichi?
Because this is Japan, Tifa.
And at just the right time, I would grab my enemy right as he took my bait. If the assassin came from the Furude family, this girl would have committed the same sin as the hack. When that time came, I wouldn't hold back.
What was with a dramatic head turn?
I was checking in the stream lag if that line was correct because it seemed weird. You already pressed enter, so it was gone. I was going to make sure she suffered and then kill her. I've heard of a torture.
They torture my Victor. First they took my boyfriend, then they took my torture.
Are you ready for the torture?
Torture is like nails and hammers and saws. Torture is where they tickle you a little bit.
No, at torture, you have this little piece of skin on the side of your nail and rip off all of that.
Yeah, but you have this little like piece of loose skin like around the edge of your nail, and you don't pull it forward to get rid of it. You slowly peel backwards.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
slowly, so that first it goes up the nail, and then you keep slowly pulling with like little pincers, and you keep grabbing deeper and deeper so that you've got the full pull, and then you pull the skin to the first ankle of your finger. But that's not it. You keep pulling, and you keep pulling all the way to the knuckle. And then you got like a rally stripe of absolute pain going down your finger.
That is the essence of torture.
And then they get a cat, and the cat licks over the flesh stripe you have. If you've never been licked by a cat, cats have really rough tongues. It's more like brushing your hand with a really rough brush. It's gonna mess it up even more.
That's awfully specific.
Again, with the killing people in this game. What happened to dragging your enemy to court and sue the shit out of him in a rigged trial after blackmailing the judge with pictures of his illegitimate affair? Takes too long.
That's in the spin-off called Phoenix, right?
It's in the what's I'm looking for? The crossover universe. Watanagashi, right? I guess could be fun.
What's a wrong?
No.
Huh. I tried.
You failed. I shouldn't have water, tea in my mouth, going down my throat, and speak at the same time. But it sounded very dramatic. You failed.
Nice try. I've heard of a torture technique where you pound dozens of nails into a victim's fingers. I already found a restraining table and the tools for it. When the time comes, I'll pound nails into your fingers. That gruesome anticipation radiated from my eyes and scared Rika even further.
I want to nail you in the worst way imaginable. Judge has a secret love affair with April May. Doesn't everybody?
I wonder how Kimiyoshi is doing.
Calling it now.
He dead?
Rika and Reina are gonna drop by the Shmion estate to settle the score and talk about can we not kill Keiichi? Because that's not good, right? I want to talk to Oreo myself. I want to talk her out of it.
Why would Reina come along?
Emotional support.
I don't think Reina really knows about the family.
Yeah, but they both died here, so I don't know. They both need to show up.
I doubt he died from tiptoeing all night, but sometimes a human can go very easily. He already told me everything I wanted to hear, and he doesn't know anything else anyway. On top of that, he was responsible for spreading the infection that was the curse system of Oyashiro-sama. His sins are very heavy. I really liked Uncle Kimiyoshi. He had always been kind. The hag was so tough on her relatives, and that's why he was extra nice to me. When we talked yesterday, I was so happy to hear him say he would forgive Shion. He even said he would fight the hag to save her. That made me very happy. Don't worry. If Shion-chan feels bad about what she has done, she won't be demoned away. Leave it to me. I felt such warmth inside of me. I almost shivered. I was so happy, yet so very sad. For he continued to say that Satoshi-kun deserved to die. He said those nice things because he wanted to make me unhappy, since she was worried about Shion. Satoshi-kun deserved to die because he was a member of the cursed Hojo family, but Shion-chan of the Sonozaki family did not. That's what he meant.
Shion's mind is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Also with a whole... Okay, and then the thing works like this. They do this, they do that, and then there is no evidence. It's a good working theory. It would explain why things are the way they are, but she has found zero evidence. None.
Well, it's natural. In other words, to the leaders of the village, including Kimiyoshi, members of the Hojo family are more compatible than insects. Oh, contemptible. Blah, blah. In other words, to the leaders of the village, including Kimiyoshi, members of the Hojo family are more contemptible than insects. They didn't care if they lived or died. Their sin was not only that they despised the Hojo family, but also that they let the hatred infect the rest of the village. Therefore, everyone in the village deserves to be a victim of the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Kimiyoshi and the others created an environment that excused murder in that name.
I guess this goes back to the idea that some of them are better than others because they have demon blood in their veins through their ancestry. Because that works both ways. On one hand, you have the three families at the top. Clearly they have the better demon blood inside them because they are the three families. Plus, everybody in Hinamizawa is willing to go along with all of this bullshit because they too have demon blood in them, right? They are proud villagers of Hinamizawa, so they are part of it.
The elder generation? Probably, yeah. if that was so, if Takano-san and Tomitake-san hadn't committed the serious crime of trespassing in the ritual storehouse. Hey! This is the first time we see
get
Teppei.
to see Teppei!
He has not had character art before.
No, this is the first time.
He is much fitter than I thought.
In the remake, he looks more evil.
He definitely looks evil there too.
Yeah, but hear me out. In the console version, he could also just be like a grumpy storekeeper. The gold chain and... He's standoffish. I get the whole like fuck vibe from him. But...
He looks like a dick in all of them.
The remake gives him the kabuki demon face kind of thing. There you can see he's like evil. In the original too, he looks like he has an unhealthy interest in young people.
He looks like he could be part of the Yakuza in all of them.
Yeah, definitely. Just like worse. Actually, no, I think remake is like evilest. Original is like, especially like with how short his nose is, like he's doing this thing. Like,
No, that's the...
I'm evil.
It's the evil smirk.
And the console, it's like, yeah, he's the character that sells you a used car. But then the car breaks. Original, he looks like he has breasts.
It's because he seems a bit broader.
It's, yeah, it kind of...
It's the rounder angle.
It's how there's a little curve around the chest. Yeah.
Yeah, and also on the other side.
Yeah. In the console version, he
looks
does
fit
work
as fuck.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be...
It's all the...
It's all the smacking with children.
Basically. It's like this arm workout. Too far? No?
When he has to bitch slap his lady friend again when she didn't bring enough money home after a hard day's work being hoarded out by him. Yeah.
But it's funny, now we get to see him.
Yeah.
Because now it's just like a mention.
There was like a whole chapter where he was one of the main points, but you know,
where he even had lines. And we never got to see him, and now it's like, oh, here's this Hojo family, and now we have an image.
Alright, sorry, I interrupted you mid-sentence.
If Takano-san and Tomitake-san hadn't committed the serious crime of trespassing in the ritual storehouse, then Satoko Hojo, the last survivor of the Hojo family, and Teppei Hojo, who has been hiding in Okonomiya, might have been the victims. Satoko Hojo. She was always around Satoshi-kun. She expected Satoshi-kun to help her every time she cried. She was one of the people who cornered him. If Satoko wasn't that much of a burden, Satoshi-kun wouldn't have been killed, or Satoshi-kun wouldn't have killed his aunt. Somebody told Satoshi-kun to commit that murder. And to hide the evidence of his connection to the mastermind, Satoshi-kun was demoned away. That's what Oishi thought. If Satoshi-kun hadn't killed his aunt, maybe he wouldn't have been chosen as last year's victim.
So wait, is she on unraveling? Somebody told Satoshi-kun to commit that murder. That's not what Oishi said. That he did never say that. Or am I misremembering hardcore? There never was a moment where somebody told Satoshi to kill his aunt. That was his idea.
No, I think we had a thing where they said that he might have been pressured into killing his aunt as like blackmail or something. That might have been...
Blackmail for what?
I don't know, that something would happen to his...
No.
To his sister. Wasn't there this thing where they go like, oh, we will take care of... of her if you do this?
No.
Blackmail. It's so bad, it's actually really good.
Oh, Skinner.
No, but I seriously think there was a thing like that. And then they go like, oh, in return we take care of your little sister and stuff.
No, never happened.
Nah, I think there was definitely a conversation.
No. Now you're beginning. Now you're beginning like this too. That never happened.
Not golden,
Also,
Mame, black.
You can't just call people golden, Mame. No, joking.
Also,
I just had a epiphany, but it's too late to show you all. In the breakdown moment where Shion was cursing Mion to give her back her face, she said that she helped Satoshi.
she would have helped Satoshi.
No, she helped with the murder.
Wait, when? Just earlier.
Yeah. There was one part of a line. I wouldn't have had to help him. Something like that. I can't.
You think you misremember that?
I can't bring it back now because we went on for too long since that happened, and I only figured that out now. But I think she basically confirmed that she was the one that killed the aunt.
I don't know the exact name, so...
Golden people are people too. That is true. I prefer my people silver and in basements. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the Shenmue 2 video.
Oh. I was like, what are you going on about? Now I get it. Next. Because the commands were vague after all. The curse of Oyashiro-sama fell upon the Hojo family as a whole. It didn't matter which member of the family died. His aunt had a terrible reputation in the neighborhood. She didn't communicate with her neighbors, she was always throwing fits, and there was nothing nice about her in any way. Even if Satoshi-kun didn't kill her, the curse would have fallen upon her sooner or later.
And this is why earlier I made the joke that Oreo would have you killed if you brought her the wrong coffee.
Yeah, but now it's not just about Oreo, this is about her just not being good for the entire community.
How is she not good for the entire community? She didn't communicate with her neighbors. She was throwing fits and there was nothing nice about her.
Yes, the neighbors thought so too. She was always complaining, always having fights, throwing fits. Like, you don't fit in the neighborhood. It wasn't just Oreo, it's everyone.
I like how Shion is so far gone already, like always has been, especially when it came to Satoko. The whole fact that they abused these kids is just beyond them. No, the problem with the aunt was that she was mean. She didn't say hello to the neighbors.
Yeah, priorities.
What about the domestic abuse?
Their aunt was the first victim. There needed to be another Hojo to calm the curse. According to a rumor, their uncle was living somewhere in Okonomiya with his lover. However, Okonomiya was a little different from Hinamizawa. The Sonozaki family was powerful there as well, of course, but it would have been more difficult in Okonomiya to demon someone away. So naturally, Satoshi-kun and Satoko, who were still in Hinamizawa, became the targets. Which one should be cursed? That was simple. Satoko, of course. She was snobby and lacking in manners. Everyone in the neighborhood liked Satoshi-kun. Even if he was the son of the Hojo couple who betrayed the village during the dam conflict. Compared to Satoko, he didn't deserve to die.
Nah, this is not Shion thinking rational. Shut up, Shion, yeah. This is Shion being Shion, trying to see it through the eyes of the people that make the decisions. But this is 100% her bias. Which makes sense. It makes sense. She's not thinking straight. It's good writing, but fuck Shion.
Therefore, the actual victims of last year's curse should have been his aunt and Satoko. Satoshi-kun was suddenly all alone. His mean aunt and mean uncle were gone. His sister, who was a burden to him all his life, was gone too. Satoshi-kun was such a nice person. He would be sad, although he'd realize he was finally free. But time would heal him. I'd even help.
I can fix him. After I decided that his little sister should die, who's, let me check my notes. Satoko's crime, as far as we actually know, was that she was a domestic abuse victim. Yeah, that checks out.
Exactly.
Clearly, she's the one who deserves. Oh, fuck this.
Shit, who died? Our sanity.
Everybody. Yeah, and main character's sanity.
She's just imagining who should have died, basically.
Shion went for like a curve on the hotness versus insanity scale, then hit the diagonal, and then went straight up into insanity.
He didn't have to live in his house in Hinamizawa. There were plenty of empty rooms in the apartment block where I lived.
Yeah, she's just fantasizing now.
I could find him a part-time job too. It's the what if. He should have lived and this is what should have happened. He didn't need to go to school in Hinamizawa. He could go to school with me in Okonomiya instead. He wouldn't know his way around, or really anything about the school there. So I'd be with Satoshi-kun all the time. I'd show him a shortcut to school, we'd go shopping, I'd teach him many different things.
Like the difference between cauliflower and broccoli.
What an unbelievably happy ending. Satoshi-kun had been suffering so much, and I had been pushed away all my life. But we would finally be happy. I enjoyed these sweet delusions, but I didn't have any more time to waste. I was sure there were plenty of old people who had been trying to get a hold of Oreo all morning and who were going to try to catch me after I got home from school. Actually, the phone had been ringing constantly while I enjoyed my happy thoughts. When I answered the phone, I casually listened and replied. As I planned, Keiichi Maebara is now known as the next curse victim within the underside of Hinamizawa. I also tried to let them know that the disappearance of the village chief had something to do with the fact that he changed the lock on the ritual storehouse's door. All the authorities in the underside came to realize the seriousness of trespassing in the storehouse. After all, one of the heads of the 3 families got punished. One of the phone calls was from Ooishi. He had also heard about Kimiyoshi's disappearance, and he knew it had something to do with the changing of the lock. I'm impressed. He has some pretty good sources, but all he can do is catch whatever information he can get. There's no way for him to find out where it's coming from. I'd call Keiichi Maebara again later tonight. Some of the more aggressive villagers may have already started to take action around him. I'm sure that by now Keiichi is feeling the danger that's coming towards him.
Isn't this also when he was almost run off the street by the van?
Oh, that could be around this time,
Yeah.
True, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to be careful that he doesn't get killed easily. If I can snatch the enemy before they bit Keiichi, I can use him again as bait. Keiichi Maebara. I haven't known him for that long. He's funny if not intelligent. He'll never replace Satoshi-kun. But I do think he's fun to be around. There's just one thing I don't like about him.
The way he pets my head.
He rubs my head far too often.
I am the best!
And too rough. His hand is as warm as Satoshi-kun's hand, which is why I can't stand it. But that's about it. Keiichi Maebara isn't Satoshi-kun's enemy. I don't hate him. He's fun to be around, but I wouldn't shed a tear for him if he became a victim of the curse. I won't prevent Keiichi Maebara from being killed, but I won't kill him myself either. I'd made arrangements for the curse to fall upon him, but I never told anyone to kill him. Ah, come on, that's kind of naive in this case.
This isn't
This is exactly what Oreo does that we're so against, and now she's like, I never said to kill him.
Exactly. She has become the very monster that she was fighting so hard against. Yeah.
It's like it's not on me.
Runs in the family, yeah.
But with Satoshi-kun, it's on everyone who did it.
Trying... It hurts. It actually hurts.
What?
this. Like, oh, I hate what they've done. I hate all of these old people doing this. I hate how they've all been infected by this way of thinking. Yeah, but I didn't do it. I just said this. I didn't say that. And even if it did happen, like, I think those are the traits of like narcissism. If you look up like the characteristics a person with certifiable narcissism is showing. Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's the same in this case, but...
Turn around is a fair game. Yeah, yeah. It's okay because they deserve it. Because they did bad things to me.
Basically.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose I did tell Rika Furude to take care of Keiichi Maebara. Wait a minute. To avenge Satoshi-kun, I'm doing exactly the same thing as the hack did.
Does the game listen to us?
I'm using the exact same system that killed Satoshi-kun. Keiichi Maebara. I'm just using him.
A little bit louder for the people in the back, Shion?
I told people to let the curse fall upon Keiichi, but I've been giving him appropriate warnings. It's better because I warned him. I'm going to help him if he tries to live. If I catch all of my enemies, maybe I'll let him loose. He's different from Satoshi-kun. Satoshi-kun was tricked into killing his aunt and was killed himself afterwards so there wouldn't be any evidence remaining. I won't kill Keiichi Maebara. That's how I'm different from the hack. Well, as long as you believe it yourself.
I'm only using the same systems because it's convenient, but I am a force of good. Yeah, as long as you believe it.
Yeah. Evening was turning to night. I had to get dinner ready. I had to eat so I'd have enough strength to take revenge. This place was... Wait, this is the shed that had the kid in it during the kidnapping.
It's the same art they use here, yeah?
Yeah. This place was far from the town. It would even get isolated during winter because of the snow. It's not unusual for a household like this to have 2 or 3 refrigerators. There were plenty of groceries left in them. I was glad I didn't have to go grocery shopping. I could hear the chorus of the Higurashi. People often say that the sound of the Higurashi brings back memories, but for me it's the exact opposite. I've only ever heard the sound of the Higurashi in Hinamizawa. Therefore, the sound of the Higurashi to me is Hinamizawa. The sound reminded me that I wasn't supposed to be here, that I couldn't be here. That was when I heard the doorbell.
Rika.
Because there was a good distance between the house and the gate, there was both a doorbell and an intercom by the ladder. But she said this was far away from town.
Rika.
It had a security camera too. Something as modern as a security camera monitor in this old-fashioned kitchen looked rather strange. I turned the switch, but nothing appeared on the monitor.
Rika, because she's so short, the camera doesn't pick her up.
Makes sense. I tried to check the plug, but there was a bunch of cords going behind the refrigerator, so I couldn't even do that. The doorbell continued to ring while I tried to figure out if the monitor was broken or if I just didn't know how to turn it on. I only felt like answering the door depending on who it was.
Fair. Same.
It'd normally be easier to pretend to be out, but that wouldn't help me. I was waiting for my enemies to show up. I couldn't just hide myself in that case. The hack was supposed to be sick and in an extremely badly mood. I'd already sent word out that she didn't want to see anyone.
A badly mood?
In an extremely badly mood. Oh wait, now that I say it myself out loud again.
Yeah, bigly.
Yeah, it's like even worse.
Yes, bad of the baddest, badly.
Exactly.
Get with a program, people.
So who could it be? I made up my mind and turned the intercom on. If it was someone unwanted, I could just turn whoever it was away.
Rika.
But I had to act normally so I wouldn't arouse suspicion. I had to act normally. Yes? Who is it?
Rika.
Hello. She didn't tell me her name, but I recognized her voice. Rika-chan, what are you doing here at this time of day? Oh no,
Yeah.
I ran out of soy sauce, so could you share some with me?
Wait.
In the previous chapter, when she ran out of soy sauce,
Yeah, true. This is still
disappeared.
chapter 2. Yeah, fair.
Then
True.
it's the time where she called Satoko to come over.
We had this whole thing where Keiichi, together with Reina and a couple of her villagers, went into their home, and when Reina deduced because of the food laying around, the only thing missing was soy sauce, and then eventually there was this little leaflet when they dropped by Keiichi's house, and it's like, yeah, we have plenty of soy sauce. Drop by.
Soy sauce? I almost screamed, but I controlled myself. I took a moment to think about the situation. Hinamizawa was far from most stores, so sometimes neighbors would share seasoning and stuff with each other. The village sometimes got snowed in during winter, but the Furude shrine was quite far from this house. It was rather odd for her to come all the way here on her bicycle just to get some soy sauce.
She doesn't even consider that Mion is her friend.
But it's still a weird thing. Maybe she was just using it as an excuse. Maybe there was something she wanted to talk to me about. That was when I noticed a piece of paper that was on the refrigerator door next to the intercom. We still have plenty of homemade soy sauce in stock. Feel free to come to the Sonozaki house if you want some. The hack must have given that flyer to everyone. One of our relatives sent her a barrel of soy sauce. If you want some, bring a container. That's what the flyer said. I see. This would explain it.
That's also where the flyer comes from that she later finds its way to Keiichi.
There was a handwritten note on the bottom of the flyer. The soy sauce is in the storage area under the floor. Give them as much as they want. There was a storage area beneath the floor. When I opened it, I saw a barrel of soy sauce alongside a funnel and a ladle.
No, I will never let go of this one. Tifa.
It's still a ladle. We have already had this argument and we all agreed it's a ladle.
A ladle is a small boy in a family where one parent is Scottish and the other is Austrian.
No.
A ladle is what you use to scoop liquids.
No, it's the scooper. It's not a ladle. It's a ladle.
I feel insulted.
I didn't want Rika to notice anything suspicious at this point.
So I taste her.
For a second I thought you said taste.
Yes, I tased her.
Yeah.
Bzzzt.
Yeah, and I was thinking taste.
Yeah, afterwards when she cut her open and then she ate the entrails because I'm a demon.
Oh, that makes sense. With soy sauce?
Yeah, of course.
That probably helps. I decided to share the soy sauce with her. Sure. Did you bring a container?
Ladle is pronounced ladle, Tifa.
No, it's ladle. We already had a very long discussion about this several streams ago, and it's absolutely ladle.
You can. It's one of those Tifa being Tifa moments. Thank you for trying.
I brought a soy sauce bottle. Okay, come on in. I'll be at the front door. As I headed there, I heard the doorbell again. Me? The gate is locked from the inside. I can't open it. Ah, that's right. Sorry. I'll be right there. Just hang on.
First I put my ladle away.
People didn't pay much attention to safety around here in Hinamizawa. People didn't think too much about locking the doors. But as someone who's lived in a town, I've always locked everything. To let Rika Furude in, I'd have to go outside. Good evening. Good evening. Rika smiled at me. She was holding a huge soy sauce bottle. She acted like I never yelled at her, got violent with her, or made her cry at all today. Or perhaps she came to curry favor, thinking that she angered me.
Curry favor? Where's Chia when you need her?
I invited Rika to the front door. I told her to wait a moment and tried to take the bottle. But Rika took her shoes off and walked into the house with the bottle in her hands. Don't worry, I'll get it for you. Why don't you wait here?
It's fine, I know the way.
I'm pretty good at pouring soy sauce into a funnel, you know? She looked at me as if begging. I guess she wanted to pour the soy sauce into the bottle herself. I didn't want her to come into the house, but I suppose I didn't want her to wait there alone either. If she came to the kitchen with me, I could keep my eyes on her. And so I brought Rika to the kitchen. We walked down the hallway, and I only heard my footsteps. I stopped suddenly and turned around to make sure Rika was following me.
Why does she only hear her own footsteps?
Because Rika walks very lightly.
Ah, fair enough. She's a fairy, basically.
Rika bumped into me. Meep.
And so I slapped the shit out of her for touching me.
Sorry. I made sure she was right behind me and started to walk again. I don't really agree with your sound effects, because when I did the sound effects, you still wanted me to say the words, and I hear no words from you.
Because you are good at saying the sound effects, I am better at making them.
I disagree. This is T-faced.
Alright, sorry. Tap, tap, tap. Tip, tip, tip. Tap, tap. Tip, tip. Thank you, everybody.
Brilliant. Very good. Rika must have been having fun matching her footsteps to mine. Even when I quickly sped up, our footsteps matched perfectly.
That's how she knows this isn't Mion. Because Mion walks differently. Watch it. Tap, 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 tap. Tip, 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 tip. Tap, tap, tap.
I stopped suddenly.
Tip, tip, tip. Tip.
Rika stopped suddenly too after taking an extra step. When I turned around, Rika smiled at me.
Average rhythm haven't sound. 100% this is how she knows this isn't Mion. Because Mion has a different walking pattern. You know how with people who you've spent enough time with, you can hear them coming? Not necessarily because of the shoes or the sound they make on the ground, but because of the rhythm that they have.
Yeah, I can tell with a couple of colleagues whether they are the ones approaching me or not.
Yeah.
Our footsteps matched perfectly, and when I stopped suddenly, I heard her extra step. I've experienced such footsteps before. It was making me feel uncomfortable. But now, although her footsteps sounded the same as the other ones I'd experienced, I saw her when I turned around. That was the difference between them.
Is that moment there to make me think that she is the extra footstep? Because she is Oyashiro-sama?
I was just thinking the same thing. Especially since the footstep sounds the same.
Yeah.
I left the storage door open so we could see the soy sauce barrel. The memo said she can take as much as she wants, but I wasn't sure there was enough left. I crouched down and tried to open the lid of the soy sauce barrel. Even when I crouched down, I could hear Rika's extra step. Oh good, there's plenty left. Take as much as you want.
Oh no.
Rika is doing the...
Oh no.
Is doing the thing.
Oh no, not that face.
You know, it's even shittier knowing that Rika already said that she's going to die. It's like she's...
I don't like it.
It's like she's asking for it here. When I turned around, Rika was very close to me. But, huh? Who was this? I saw Rika, but it wasn't Rika at all.
Is she gonna give her a peace of mind that, excuse me, I am Oyashiro-sama, so that whole thing about how do you know what Oyashiro-sama wants was very hurtful, actually.
The disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
It was like when I switched with my sister. The outside was the same, but the inside was different. Did Rika have a twin sister? I was confused for a moment. That was when Rika sprayed something from a small bottle into my eyes.
Fox urine.
Fox urine? What the fuck?
I don't know, I would imagine it burns and it's distracting.
I would think Higurashi urine would be easier.
She held out
by, like,
she held out 2 cicadas like guns, squeezed their bellies, and they peed in my eyes. Sorry, they pissed in my eyes.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's for everything here? Where did that come from? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I felt a terrible pain in my eyes and suddenly tears poured out and my nose started to run. I couldn't stop sneezing either.
Because she's allergic to foxes.
As I stumbled around covering my face, I then realized I was attacked. I shut my eyes tightly for a moment and then opened them again. Rika was about to grab my hair to drag me on down onto the floor. When Rika saw me open my eyes, she sprayed at me again.
She sprayed.
She sprayed. I shut my eyes to avoid the spray, but my nose still breathed in the substance. I avoided the pain in my eyes, but the tears, the runny nose and the sneezing continued. Shit! Ah! My brain isn't working quickly enough. However, when I finally understood that I had been attacked by Rika Furude, my brain started to grind into motion. Rika Furude knocked me on my back and got on top of me. I tried to escape from her by rolling on the kitchen floor. As I rolled, I hit an oven, a huge jar, and destroyed a pile of something on the floor as I fought back. But Rika didn't let go of me. She stayed on top and restrained me. She was sitting on my stomach and I felt a ting. Oh my fucking god.
I'm sorry, but before you continue, when Tifa started to stumble on sitting, my mind auto-completed the sentence for her, and I had to stifle the laughter because I could hear, mentally I could hear her say she was shitting on my stomach.
It works well with the fox urine. Hey, it's late already.
Sorry.
She was sitting on my stomach and I felt intense pain and pressure. She sure could fight well. I still couldn't see anything. Rika had the upper hand, my eyes were shut and I was in real danger. As I tried to blink, I saw Rika's expression. I didn't know Rika Furude all that well. I only knew her from the few times we met when I went to school as Mion and from the things I've heard from other people. But as far as I knew, there was no way Rika Furude would ever do something like this. This is just impossible, impossible, impossible! No, I can't fill my head with that word. I have to calm down and figure out what to do next. Shit, I'm too much of a mess to even think. I tried to peek at her face again. She still had the spray bottle in one hand. What I didn't expect was the thing in her other hand. A ladle.
You said it correctly. Aww.
Just for you.
That's the difference. A ladle is for scooping liquids. A ladle is a dangerous weapon. What's it gonna be? A knife.
It has to be something she's semi-familiar with.
Actually, no. A knife would make sense. I think it's a hoe. Actually, not a hoe, a hammer.
Is there an item that has some meaning?
Yes.
Baseball bat. Baseball bat.
No, the ritual hammer.
That was
It's a hammer, right? Was it a hoe?
That was a hoe.
That thing. The thing she uses during the Watanagashi festival.
That's a hoe.
You're a hoe. So we're all locked in. I say it's the ritual hoe.
Satoshi's baseball bat. How could I mistake it for anything else? It was definitely a syringe. The same drug that...
Just like in chapter 1.
That made Keiichi go insane.
And killed Tomitake.
When Rika realized I'd regained my eyesight, she pointed the spray bottle right at me and let loose with it. I shut my eyes tightly and tried to ignore the pain. But that was when, even though I was blinded, Rika made a miscalculation. She had sprayed at me from such a close distance that she inhaled the substance as well.
She spits it back.
I heard Rika sneeze and realized it was my chance. Even if I couldn't see, I knew she was right there.
Maybe not.
I hit Rika's face a few times. When I felt Rika's weight shift, I escaped. I then got my stun gun ready. Rika must have inhaled just a little of the spray. She wasn't sneezing anymore and was glaring at me instead. Hey, are you picking a fight with me? You want me to wreck you? Rika's expression didn't change, but I was sure she was disappointed that her surprise attack was a failure. Rika flinched just a little, but she was still holding the spray bottle and aiming it at my eyes. She was trying to use the spray first, and then give me the shot. I didn't know what was in that syringe, but it was a clear liquid.
Same as in chapter 1.
It had to be something bad. She wanted to take my eyesight, get on top of me, and then give me the shot. If whatever was in that syringe took a while to take effect, I might have the chance to fight back and seriously injure Rika. But Rika's surprise attack told me that just being injected was more than enough. Then why didn't she inject her when she was bending down? Why the spray first?
Because then the plot wouldn't happen.
If instead of the spray, you used the syringe first, it would have been over.
I don't know. I didn't write the story.
In other words, whatever the effect, it would start to work immediately. Therefore, I wouldn't be able to fight back against her. It'd probably either knock me out or kill me. In any case, what I had was equally deadly. My stun gun was very powerful. Just one shot would be all it took. What happened before was proof of its power. Rika knew my stun gun was a lot more powerful than her spray. She was being extremely cautious. What do you think you're doing in my house, huh? If you aren't moving, then I'll come to you. I threw a pile of newspapers at her. The pile wasn't tied together, so the newspapers flew all over Rika. I jumped at her immediately after.
Who stores newspapers in the kitchen?
That's also like a shed. I shoved my stun gun into her and pulled the trigger. Rika spasmed and fell to the floor.
I knew this was gonna happen, but...
You fool! Hesitating in a fight where a single blow wins? Only amateurs just glare at each other.
Yep.
You don't have a single clue about how advantage the first strike is when a single blow can decide everything.
Shouldn't have even sprayed her, should have just sort of...
Yeah, that's what I said. The spray bottle rolled on the ground. But she still had the syringe. Rika was down, but I couldn't let my guard down either. I kicked her in the side and clambered on top of her. I took the syringe. I held Rika's arm down and gave her the shot. My actions could hardly be called gentle. I injected her violently. I injected everything that wasn't the syringe. Rika began to convulse. I stood back and watched for what would happen to her body. Of course, I still had my guard up, while I assumed that the drug would
Incapacitate. You can do it.
While I assumed that the drug would incapacitate.
Sit like a human.
Incapacitate.
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 Go.
While I assumed that the drug would incapacitate her immediately, I didn't know exactly what kind of reaction she would have.
Psycho,
Thank
I hope
you.
you read the fine print. Please enjoy your drink.
Joining you.
Vigorate. To this day, I haven't forgotten that moment.
Look at you! Did you really think you could defeat me? Think again! After a few more convulsions, Rika unsteadily got to her feet. That's ridiculous. How can she even stand?
Because I am a god.
Basically.
This isn't even my final form.
I looked at my stun gun. Damn it! The power was on the lowest setting! Maybe it had been readjusted when we were rolling around on the floor.
Hate it when that happens to me.
I changed the setting to maximum.
Set phasers to kill.
Rika turned pale and started sweating all over. I didn't know its exact effects, but if Rika had given me the shot, I'd be the one experiencing her symptoms. She looked really sick, so obviously she must have been feeling awful too. She couldn't even focus. She was very wobbly and had her hand on the wall. She'd lost her balance and must have been hard for her to even stand. She didn't look so brave anymore. Rika wobbled some more and moaned as if she was about to throw up. Hanyu.
Is Hanyu Japanese, or is this just an what's the word? Onomatopoeia, with like words for how the sound she's making is supposed to sound?
I think it's an actual Japanese word.
Wait, if it was Japanese, it would be translated.
Maybe it means like grandma. Something. Rika looked scared as she moaned and wobbled, but at the same time she looked kind of funny too.
Dying!
Certainly she hadn't even dreamed she'd be getting the shot herself. As the man sows, so shall he reap. That's what you get. This is funny! So funny! But please don't throw up here. Go to the bathroom, okay? I'm going to enjoy how long it will take for you to die. Oh, but that means I can't torture you later, huh? I've been planning to use the nail table on you. So either you choke on your own vomit and die, or I pound nails into all 10 of your fingers. I wonder which it will be. Okay, I know. Let's move to the underground shrine storage, and I'll put you to sleep so I can move you there, okay? I walked up to Rika, my stun gun making popping sounds. When Rika saw the sparks from the stun gun, she moved to grab a huge kitchen knife. Oh, are you still trying to fight? That makes things more fun. I have so much I want to ask you. I would suggest you back down, Ranger. How are you doing?
I suggest you would back down, Ranger? Oh. Welcome in, Ranger, and please do hydrate. It's important. How are you doing? Happy
Joining
Friday.
you there. Well, actually, even if you do, you'll go through the same misery anyway. Sorry, but I'll refuse that invitation, you torture maniac. What she said wasn't anything I'd expect to hear from the Rika I knew. But I didn't hesitate. I had the advantage, so I didn't need to worry. Besides, this was coming from the last survivor of the Furude family, one of the 3 families. That sudden change somehow felt natural. She's used to it. Everyone does it. Compared to what the 3 families have done, this is nothing. Thank you for that high praise, though. I should be proud of myself, huh? So? Are you seriously thinking about fighting me with a knife in that condition? You can't even stand straight. You're right. Like you said, I'm at my limit.
She's going to disembowel herself.
But if that means getting captured and tortured to death by you, then sorry, I'm taking my leave.
She commits suicide. That's how she dies, and that's why she dies in that way in the chapters.
Taking your leave? Pfft, try it if you can. It was clear who held the advantage here. But despite that, an odd thrill filled both of us. We lost our minds wasn't a fitting phrase for the people of Hinamizawa. It was a feeling of release when modern demons could stop pretending to be human. Yes, this was a mad banquet of demons with the savoring of blood and devouring of flesh. Attended by the head of the Furude family and the head of the Sonozaki family, the old families whose blood is closest to the madness of the demons. I stood in front of the hallway so as to block her escape route. The windows had grates and the door had a safety chain on it. If she turned around, I'd hit her with my stun gun. Hit her with my stun gun. I don't know, it's only a song in my head.
What kind of music are you listening to?
I do not know, but it somehow seemed to work.
Hit her with my spray bottle with fox urine. Piss piss.
In this situation, what did Rika Furude mean by taking her leave? Rika got her knife ready. I expected her to aim at my stomach when she attacked, so I took a stance with my stun gun ready in hand. Rika, however, suddenly turned around. I carefully watched to see what her next move would be. Rika put the handle of the knife to the wall and held it in place.
Oh, she's gonna jump into it.
Ugh. What was she doing? Jump into it seems so weird. Goodbye, torture maniac. I won't give you the satisfaction of killing me. Rika reared her head back and slammed her throat against the knife on the wall.
Ah, damn.
At least it's the neck. Like, I feel like the stomach is worse. The neck is at least a little bit faster.
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
Olivia got an honor roll and perfect attendance.
Only
for
Tifa
this.
in this moment would get out of the scene. Sorry.
Oh yeah, now I took a breath anyway. Olivia got an honor roll and perfect attendance for this awards assembly at school, so I signed her out early and took her to Dairy Queen for some ice cream. Great
Nice.
way to start the weekend.
I'm
Yes, it
super
is.
happy for her. And for you. That's nice.
That's very nice. And now by taking her out early, you broke the perfect attendance.
Revoked. Because of your dad.
You take the ice cream. Now it's no. I'm just kidding. I'm in a
What flavors are you getting?
maniac mood.
Yeah, clearly.
Enjoy the ice cream.
I think I saw the scene in the anime years ago out of context. Yeah, that must be a thing.
Yeah, a little bit. Also new music.
Yeah.
Her blood splattered all over. Rika bent backwards repeatedly and let the knife slash at her throat. Again and again. Her neck and chest were dyed red. I'd always thought blood was darker,
Only after it oxidizes.
but her blood wasn't dark. It was so bright. I must have been confused, but it looked pretty. You look so pretty while you're bleeding to death. What was it in a certain game? Like, you look so pretty when you smile while dying.
I don't recall that, but take your word for it.
After doing this several times, Rika turned around. How is she still standing? Her eyes were wide open. She didn't look like she was from this world. Her face looked like something both living and dead, both real and artificial. It was very scary, eerie, and above all else, pale. Although her face looked unearthly, it was a very appropriate face for a demon. I didn't have a mirror, so I couldn't tell, but I was sure I looked exactly like her. Rika continued to violently slash her throat. It reminded me of someone trying to break a huge piece of ice with an ice pick.
I hate that distorted sound effect.
Yeah. Makes me wonder if my head thingy is broken or it's...
That is the sound, a similar sound to what you hear when you have a phone nearby speakers.
That was exactly what Rika looked like. The white chips of ice coolly flying through the air. What I saw before me was a beautiful sight. Every time Rika struck her throat, tiny drops of red blood splattered the boring white world around her. It was like a dance. A dedication dance by the final head of the Furude family. The demon's last dance of dedication to Oyashiro-sama. Upon seeing that literally blood-curdling dance, I let out a fierce roar. I had no reason to do so. I was howling like an animal. We were like animals trying to kill each other, both getting covered in blood. And inevitably, as one convulsed in a pool of that blood, the other threw back its head and howled. My body shivered with the joy I felt inside of me. This was death, the most final of judgments, and it was right before me. The demons howled, screamed, and roared. The roars faded and my voice started to change from the voice of a demon back to that of a human. As a demon I roared, but as a human I sneered. Rika was covered in blood from her neck down. Her blood was pouring out, making a little noise. Rika was still staring into my eyes. I stared back at her. I wasn't sure they were still eyes though. They were no longer human eyes, but the eyes of the dead. Rika's corpse vomited blood from her mouth and nose and smiled. Then she dropped the knife. She stuck her hands out and turned her palms upward. Her wiggling fingers reminded me of an insect's legs. Those fingers reached for her own throat.
There it is.
I'd never seen anything like it. I'd never seen anybody do this before. Because Rika was scratching her own throat. She was ripping her own throat apart. Maybe that wasn't a good description. She was trying to rip out the inside of her throat through the opening she'd made with the knife. Her fingers found the biggest tear.
Oh.
Rika smiled. At least that's what I would have called it if she were alive. She ripped open the tear in one tug. What? Upon hearing my scream, Rika died and fell on her face into the pool of blood. That was it. I should have wrote there. She didn't get up again to show me her throat. I stepped back from Rika Furude's body and bumped into the wall in the hallway. Rah! I roared again in admiration of the ritual dance of dedication of the head of the Furude family. Joy ran through my body and my blood rushed through my veins. I won! I defeated her!
You killed a god. Congrats.
I then realized I disposed of the heads of the three families, the core of the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Everything was finally exposed.
Will we be able to discover this blood with luminol testing fluid later? Psh, psh, psh. No. Because everything goes dark, and then you die. I felt the description in my throat. Why is this so descriptive? Yes, exactly. It's like, I could feel it.
It's quite nice.
The didn't kill me. You tried, Skinner.
Everything was finally exposed. The curse of Oyashiro-sama and his masterminds were all exposed. I disposed of the leaders of the three families who all killed Satoshi-kun. The head of the Sonozaki family died of a heart attack. She was at the bottom of the well along with a wheelchair.
Waste of a perfectly good wheelchair.
Yeah. I apprehended the head of the Kimiyoshi family. He'd continued to tiptoe until he died. The head of the Furude family died, in a way that was perfect for the final head of the three families of Onigafuchi. I did it! I accomplished my mission.
However, consider this. You are now the head of a family.
She already was the moment Oreo died. I defeated all the masterminds who killed Satoshi-kun with the curse. Everyone! Satoshi-kun, you were powerless. You didn't have the means to fight back. Those evil people simply sneered while they let you die. after making you or after marking you as a member of the cursed Hojo family. I will never, ever forgive them. They believed you deserved to die because you were one of the Hojos. As long as it was done by the curse of Oyashiro-sama, they didn't care how you were killed. I will never forgive those people for creating this world. What could I have done to save you, Satoshi-kun? I couldn't save you. Shion Sonozaki couldn't do anything else at the time. If I was Mion, not Shion. If I was Mion that day, I could have saved you. Mion could have saved you. That's right, I remember now. Shion. She said she wanted to eat red snapper sashimi that day. I was supposed to eat that. But Shion pouted and cried. That was why I let her switch, just for that night.
And that's when it happened.
Shion knew what was going to happen. I did it to make her happy like a big sister would. Shion was never treated well, so I felt bad. That was it. I was being a good sister. That was it.
I told you they swapped. I told you.
When morning came, the world had been turned upside down and had remained so until today. We weren't twins anymore. The one with the demon was Mion, and the one without the demon was Shion. That was what was that supposed to mean? Wait, Mom, listen. I'm Mion, not her. You can tell us apart, right, Mom? Look, can't you tell I'm Mion? Come on, everyone, tell me I'm Mion. I'm Mion. Don't call me Shion. I'm Mion. I am. Then I realized, you knew, didn't you, that the relatives weren't gathering for a simple party that night. You knew. No, I didn't. I really didn't know. How can you say that? You were so persistent that day. You said you'd never eaten red snapper before, so you really wanted to try it. You never gave up asking me. I really didn't know. I didn't know. If I had known, I wouldn't have said that. Oh, sure. You were always jealous of me, always looking at me with those foxy eyes. That was why I switched with you every once in a while. But you weren't satisfied with just that. You became even more jealous. And that night, you knew what was going on and took Mion from me. You took Mion from me. Give Mion back. I'm the one who's Mion. I am Mion Sonozaki. You were Shion this whole time. Don't call yourself Mion, you imposter. I kicked the bars of the cell repeatedly while I roared. Compared to my roar, the metallic noise of the bars sounded like the cry of a little puppy. I had been convinced by something so stupid. The tattoo of the demon was just a way of telling us apart. Even without the tattoo, I'm Mion. That's right, I am Mion Sonozaki. I gathered my hair and put it in a ponytail with the yellow band that Mion used all the time. Since I didn't feel my hair on my neck, I felt like I could think more clearly now. Two Mions looked at each other through the iron bars. According to our sibling rules, that was never to happen. Yes, there was only one Mion and one Shion. There could never be two of either at the same time. Shion, let your hair down. I am Mion and Mion is here. You were never Mion, so don't pretend to be me ever again, do you hear? I said, do you hear? If you do, answer me. Answer me, Shion. I took myself back on this day. Shion admitted she was Shion. How wonderful it is to be Mion. I feel great. I can think clearly now. Because after all, Mion is capable of anything. Unlike you, Shion. How dare you pretend to be Mion? Do you have any idea? Huh, Shion? Yes, sis?
Schizophrenia? I think, yes, partially induced by all that has happened.
Shion called me sis. And so, I was Mion. The demon who had been asleep deep inside of me was finally allowed to wake up. The demon roared and my whole body shivered to express his joy. Now the names above are throwing me off. Is this now the one in the cage?
No. The
Because-
one named Shion is actually Mion.
Yeah, but I would have expected it to swap.
That would be confusing. Not Jack ignoring my previous comment. Which previous comment? I felt the description in my throat. Why is this so descriptive? Hate flicks, yeah. I know.
Shion, you committed a great sin. You were Mion until now. You were in a powerful position as Mion You were in a powerful position as Mion of the Sonozaki family, yet you didn't even try to rescue Satoshi-kun. You had millions of chances to save him, but you chose not to do anything. I won't forgive you. I'll never forgive you. I could have saved Satoshi-kun. You took him from me and you killed him. I will never forgive you for that. Shion was shaking on the other side of the bars. I will kill you. I'll kill you in the best possible way. Starting today, I'm going to think of the best, most gruesome way to kill you. Shion, you better spend every minute fearing what's coming to you. I won't just kill you. I'll make sure your death is long and miserable. And after you're dead, I'll throw you into the well. You better apologize to Satoshi-kun when you get there. This is what you get for pretending to be me. Do you hear me? That's your sin. Ah! My throat is actually a bit sore.
Yeah, no words. Always double save, people.
I'm actually very shocked by the fact that it was Rika trying to kill her.
Yeah, same.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah, me neither.
Especially knowing Rika already knew that she was going to die, and also how, I assume.
I don't know about the how.
If you pull something like this off and you already know which day you're going to die.
No, that so much murder.
All the schmurder.
Exactly. No, I don't think this answers the question about why Rika dies. Because the death is different. If Rika here had died in the ritual way, as in disemboweling herself, it would have made sense.
Well, no, in chapter 2 she's found in the well.
Yes. I get that. But her dying here this way is not an answer.
But I didn't say that.
Yeah, I know. Didn't say you did.
I thought you were answering what I was trying to say.
No. Confusion. Didn't see that coming. Also didn't like it. Didn't enjoy the very good description of what exactly was happening. No.
I absolutely appreciated that, even though I'm still a little bit confused on the why. But Rika knew she was dying a couple of days after the Watanagashi. Doing so, or doing this, probably also means she knew she would die there. Or she tried to maybe avoid it and change her fate, which I somehow doubt as well. So it's a bit confusing on what she tried to accomplish here.
To take out the evil? I don't know. It's not like we can ask her.
Yeah.
It's not like we're gonna learn that from her. But wasn't it weird that she was able to shake all of the fight off, basically?
What do you mean shake all of the fight off?
Like, she regained her composure really quickly. I mean, she is the reincarnation of oyashiro-sama. I guess that played a part in it. But the whole being hit in the face, getting injected with the stuff. Kids are what?
Kids are flexible. They can take a bit more.
Well said, Shion.
It's like when certain baby penguins like fall off a cliff, hit several rocks, and then just walk it off. Are those baby penguins, or was that a specific type of bird that gets thrown off of a cliff by its mother?
There are some birds that do that. I don't know where all of this is coming from. I can't
I'm just
explain it.
giving you the example that kids are...
Please do not throw your children down cliffs because you hurt somewhere.
Please don't throw babies off a cliff.
Please do not do that because you heard from somewhere that kids are flexible.
I was talking about baby birds, but still.
No.
Anyway, now there's a couple more questions.
Don't throw birds off of cliffs either, people. Don't throw anything off of cliffs.
No, you shouldn't. But I also think that it is late enough now.
No, you can't say shit like that and then go, okay, bye everybody.
Why
no.
not?
No, you
I
need...
already streamed for an hour longer.
You need to give everybody a moment to like mentally like decompress. You can't just leave after saying shit like that.
Let's mentally decompress.
I wonder how Reina is gonna die.
Reina doesn't die in chapter 2.
Does she not?
No.
Then who else does? Is it Satoko?
Satoko. Satoko gets a call to come over.
True. Yeah.
And I'm guessing...
Reina is the one that lets in the police when Keiichi is being tortured.
Yeah.
I say tortured, I don't know why I said that. He was being tortured.
Well, Satoko we now need to kill because she knows that Rika was on her way to her.
Yeah.
So we need to get rid of the loose end. And we want to get rid of Satoko anyway.
Satoko deserves it anyway because she's Satoko.
It's just like a good excuse to get rid of her.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you just want to murder kids and then they come to you to be murdered and then, you know, it's like poetry, it rhymes. This game is so messed up. I didn't expect any of that. When I was confused in chapter 1 reading about the rules of a board game I've never played. I miss those days.
Pleasant surprise. Says Brennan didn't like chapter 1, so... Are we decomposed? Because I also
are we decomposed?
Or decompressed?
I feel like listening to you makes me decompose mentally.
Decompressed, yeah. Because I also...
Hence the yawn too, my brain is just like... Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. Higurashi, man. Higurashi. It really does things.
Well, I look forward to the next... Not chapter, we're still in the same chapter. To the next bit. Like, we're probably gonna have a long scene with Satoko as well. Then we still have the whole bit with Keiichi.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of... Oh! Because it's all your fault. If you had never been born. Didn't you know what you did to Satoshi? Give him back.
Yeah.
But did I write that down at some point that Shion is Mion and Mion is Shion?
I know that was said. Yeah. But we can find that later.
I said it even back in June. Things like this. And I also wrote down that Satoshi is Tomitake. Is that debunked now? I think it's debunked. I can quickly add that before I forget about it.
I think you can, yeah.
And I still don't
That
know
was debunked the moment you said it.
how all of that works together in a overarching narrative and why the beginning of chapter 1 was the way it was.
But we're not gonna find out now, and we're not gonna find out Sunday when we will be back for more Higurashi.
So what do you say now after you press the button?
Now I pressed the button, yeah.
Yeah, what do you say now?
That was it. Bye!
Well, thank you for
Sunday.
Higurashi with us. We're back on Sunday with everything Tifa just said. Imagine.